Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here we are live.
Welcome to the Iron Animal Show.
What's going on, everybody?
Howdy.
Everybody, this is Solomon from Eastern
Florida
Florida Pythons. There we have it.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Good. Who's all in the chat there, Justin? You got your.
We got Mary. We got all kinds of people. We got PNP, our Patent Pending Pythons. We got Donna. Your shirt got mailed out today. It should get there Saturday. Mitch or Mary's Python, so I'm sure. Yeah, it's just,
or Mr. Mary
they're
Python.
both Mr. and Mrs. are both in here. But yeah, Scales. Everybody's rolling in.
Hey, Donna.
All right, everybody, smack that like button if you're coming in. We gotta invite our say hi to our special guest.
Will from Kentucky Exotic. He's not here. It's just an imposter. He's a ninja.
Yeah, he's always like, I'm not here.
Yeah.
What's up there, everybody?
Scales, Jose from Grab Your Balls. Glad you're doing okay.
Grab your balls. That was funny last night in the Tuesday stream when somebody found my third video or something and asked me, you still got that sticker? That cracked me up.
You can, Justin, you can tell your wife that he's okay. He's alive. She was worried about him last night.
I know. She's like, where's he at? Where's he at? I'm like, I don't know. He's probably busy. It's like,
give everybody a few minutes to get in here. Reptile Freaks and Geeks. Thank you. I appreciate it. How's the weather in Florida today?
Hot. So hot.
oh, I bet.
It's kind of weird. For once, we didn't get an afternoon storm. Usually around 3 o'clock, it's thundering, but not today. So, I think the hurricane in the Gulf's kind of sucking everything out the opposite coast. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to get pounded in Louisiana. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. And I just keep, since I moved to Florida like 6 years ago, we've had 3, technically 4 close calls with Cat 4s, actually. All of them were Cat 4s so far. And just thinking about the fear that happens right before, as it's coming, it's coming, you can't do anything about it. I really feel for everybody out there.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yeah. No fun.
Yeah, Texas is going to get a little bit. But Louisiana's going to get the blood of it again, it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, America's going to be hurricanes there. So.
And pretty close to when Katrina had hit, too, 15 years ago, wasn't it?
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. It's 2005?
Yeah, it's 15 years ago.
Yeah, 2005. Crazy.
Yeah, it don't seem that long ago, does it?
No, not at all. Cool.
2005.
No, Florida. No, it went completely up underneath Florida. We're not even getting anything from it. So. Originally, when it first started forming, they had us in the cone, but yeah, we didn't get anything. We're good.
Right on, that's good.
Well, we got a few people in here. So this is Solomon. Like I said, he's from Eastern Florida Pythons. We're gonna talk snakes and his backstory a little bit tonight. Why don't you tell everybody kind of what got you in this, what age you were, and kind of just give a little backstory on yourself.
Okay, so like he said, my name's Solomon from Eastern Florida Pythons. I've been with reptiles. I've had reptiles pretty much my whole life. So when I was 2 years old, my mother took me to the Greenville Zoo in Greenville, South Carolina. I was knee high to a grasshopper. Man, I was real small. don't remember too much. And couldn't really see much of the animals because I was so little, couldn't see over the little barriers and everything. So I don't remember much about that. But as we were walking out the door, or walking out the back gate, one of the zookeepers had a red-tailed boa wrapped around her. And my mom was like, well, go see it. So I ran over there and I started petting that thing and talking to it. I thought that was the coolest thing in the entire world, was a big old red-tailed boa. So my mom said, all right, Solomon, it's time to leave. And she said, tell the snake goodbye. And so I walked up and said, bye-bye, snake, and I kissed it right on the top of the head. And my mother actually has a photograph of that. And you can actually see it in my YouTube channel when I talk about my whole backstory. But that was the exact moment that my love for snakes happened. And it's cool that I have an actual photograph of when my life was changed forever.
Oh, yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah. So I basically, I was just fascinated with them. I collected snake sheds, anything I could get, all kinds of books and everything growing up as a little kid. But I never was allowed to have a snake. My mom always told me, Solomon, you're going to have to be 10 years old before you can get one. And I think my mother at the time was thinking, well, maybe this will just be one of those fleeting interests, and he'll go into something.
He was probably hoping it was going to go away.
Yeah.
My mom would have been hoping.
Yeah. Well, if I got to be honest though, my mom was really a really cool mom. In that, once she realized that it was a legit interest, and we'll call it, albeit an obsession. Once she realized that, she was like the most supportive lady I've ever seen in my life. Like she's like, if this is what you want, then I'm all for it. Even so much that when I was little, she would be, she'd pick me up and we'd go ride around and stuff. And if a snake crossed the road, she'd be the first one pulled over so I could go trace it. So she was really, really supportive of it. And then once she realized that, this really was something that I wanted to do, I got surprised when I was 7 years old for Christmas. They bought me an Eastern garter snake. That was my very first snake for a pet at 7 years old. And it was also my very first snake bite ever, was that garter snake. Lord, did I not know that how many more I would get the rest of my life. Oh, my goodness. But, and it just progressively got more and more intense as far as how much I loved them. So we fast forward, I graduated high school, still loved snakes. Matter of fact, for a graduation gift, I was given a snake hook for a graduation gift, which I thought was pretty unique but very cool, and I still have it, and I still use that hook.
Awesome.
Yeah. Then life happened. I kind of pulled back a little bit from reptiles, just trying to survive, trying to figure out where I was going to go after high school. I did a couple little jobs here and there, hated life. It was horrible. Growing up was awful. There's all these bills and junk that show up, and so I ended up joining the Army. I was with the 2nd Battalion, 23rd Infantry Regiment, 4th Brigade, 2nd Infantry Division at Fort Lewis, Washington. It was a Stryker Brigade combat team. So I was an infantryman.
I'm right by there.
Do what?
Washington, Fort Lewis, or I'm right by the firing center for all that.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Where at?
Well, I'm right in the middle of Washington, right where the firing. It's
Yakima.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yakistan is what we called it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because the training center is actually out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a desert too. It's really cool. But anyway, so I joined the Army. And that was kind of boring. I mean, it wasn't boring for the most part, but it wasn't until I deployed to Iraq that things really changed for me. So I spent 15 months in Iraq. First 6 months was in Baghdad, and then we moved a little ways north of there to the Diyala province, or Muqtadiya and Bakuba, Iraq. And it was not a fun experience. I saw a lot of action, lost a bunch of friends, all that stuff. So when I came back, when I came back, I got out of the Army. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not going to be a lifer, not even remotely. Came back and really was kind of like, I didn't feel like I belonged in the world anymore. Like, I wasn't comfortable around people anymore. Um, just didn't like it. Didn't enjoy any of this stuff. So I started looking for ways to make myself feel better. And one of the ways that I did was getting back to my roots, which was going and looking for snakes. So I went back and started herping again. By myself, I would just drive for hours and hours on the back roads looking for stuff crossing the road. And that was my therapy. That really, really made me feel good. And it was because of all of that that I ended up getting an offer to open a reptile zoo in a shopping center. And I didn't have to pay for it. I didn't have to pay rent. I didn't have to do any of that. They gave me an opportunity because they saw me one day on the side of the road holding up a snake. And actually, it was in their parking lot because I caught it in the creek right inside, right by their thing. And they walked out there because there were like 15 customers wrapped around the outside of me while I'm sitting there holding this queen snake, explaining to them, like, this is not a cottonmouth. We don't have cottonmouths in upstate South Carolina, even though everything is cottonmouth. You know, and everything got to you. I was up there, you know, talking to people exactly what these were. You know, these are crayfish eaters. They only eat crayfish. They generally only eat crayfish once they molt it and they're nice and wet and soft and everything, and they're really specialized for cool. But that they saw that it was a draw, so they gave me the opportunity to be a attraction that they could advertise for. So I opened that reptile zoo. Had every venomous snake species native to the southeast U.S., including all the subspecies. So dusky pygmy rattlesnakes, Carolina pygmy rattlesnakes, had eastern coral snake, very cool, huge female. She was awesome. And then I had some other venomous snakes from all over the world, you know, barnacle cobras, I had some spitters, baboon vipers, I had saw-scaled vipers, all kinds of very venomous snakes, and then I had some traditional colubrids and some pythons, like ball pythons. So I ran that for about 4 years, and then, and I'm almost done, guys. I'm sorry, I'm getting real long-winded. But I ran that for about 4 years, and then I met this little redheaded woman who is now my wife. Online, and it was very cool. It's our very first date. She drove an hour south to ride around in the truck with me for 4 hours while I looked for snakes. Now, again, first time we've ever met each other together. I mean, we talked on the phone and everything. So she's like, "Yeah, I'll drive down after dark, meet you in a parking lot that there's nobody there." Okay, and I'll get in the truck with you and ride around and look for snakes, which could have been code for anything else. But anyway, so she pulls into the parking lot. I'm sitting on the tailgate of my truck. I had just gotten off work. I had a shirt with holes all in it. I had stained shorts and no shoes, and she still got in the truck with me. I was blown away. So so that's our first date, and that's like the coolest story, coolest beginning, you know, kind of neat.
That's great.
Yeah. So we ended up moving to North Carolina. So I ended up shutting down my zoo. I started breeding ball pythons while I was up there for a while, and it stopped for a couple of years. Just back in the day, the industry just wasn't what it was. People were very mean. You know, everybody considered everybody else competition, even though each breeder, like you, Irondogg Reptiles, you have different stuff than I do, and my animal house, you have different stuff than I do. We are not in competition with one another at all. Everybody's got their same likes and dislikes, right? Well, back then, everybody was cutthroat, trying to outdo everybody. Nobody was nice. There was none of this live stuff like this. There was no stickers.
Did not share nothing.
Yeah.
And you get all them crazy hats that you couldn't find out what they were for 5 years, and then you were pissed off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I got out of it. I didn't enjoy it. Anyway, we decided it was time for us to do something different. So I got a job. My wife was like, "Why don't you look for something in Florida?" that's where my dream place to live was, just because of all the species down here. But okay, so I said I will look, and within a month, I had a place to live and I had a dream job. I did wildlife removal for a company down here, so I was catching snakes, raccoons, otters, possums, rats, all that stuff. And I ended up doing that for 5 years. So, I've done everything from, I caught a couple of striped or spotted skunks in a person's house once. I caught river otters that were literally laying out on people's lounge chairs by the pool and sunning themselves.
Just hanging out. Huh?
Yeah, and it was cool because they were so dirty because they burrow under the ground that there was literally otter outlines in dirt on those chairs. It was hilarious. I've caught bobcats, I've done all that stuff. And I've caught rattlesnakes, all kinds of good stuff. And then my wife, her business has kind of really shot up, and now she's my sugar mom. That's what I call it. Yeah. So I was able to actually retire from the workforce and do this full time. So now I do all ball pythons again. I started back up, started the Eastern Florida pythons. It's been going great. I love it. And then I also do like graphic design stuff, logo work, and everything for reptile people. I couldn't be happy. So I literally reptiles literally shaped my life, and I would even beg to say that they saved my life.
For sure.
Oh yeah. I've had some times in my life where I need to keep myself busy, and the animals do that for me very well. Yeah.
I would think the biggest question out of that whole story is what most people will be asking is, does your wife have a sister?
Oh, that was pretty good.
Because, you sound like you got a good one. I mean, anybody pulls up and sees you just like that, you got to keep her there, dude. So you did great on that one.
Yeah. She's a good little woman. I'm telling you. She's definitely a good little woman. And you know what? She supports us wholeheartedly.
Did she handle your snakes with you too? I mean, is she good with all that? That's awesome.
Yeah. We went to the Daytona show last weekend, and on the way home, I bought an animal I've been looking for a while, but I went and bought a pastel double head clown pride female, little baby, and my wife literally rode home with it in her hand. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So, yep. Just I've had a pretty interesting life when it comes to reptiles, and I hope it doesn't change.
Hey, speaking of our reptile community, I think it's growing as we speak. Somebody said in the chat that TNT Balls, they're having their baby like right now.
Awesome. Awesome.
Hey, congratulations. I don't know if they're on here, but that's amazing. I saw a post.
Yeah, Mary just commented and said that they're having the little one right now.
That is so awesome.
Jennifer Lager, welcome. Gomez Python.
I'm glad you've been wanting to be here.
Hey, Jennifer.
And
So, Jennifer is one of two people that is with the Make Breeders. They're a really cool family, and actually, they're the adoptees of my little one-eyed female that just came out of this last clutch. So, very, very cool people. Very cool people.
Yeah.
everybody's welcome here, no matter who they are.
So where are you at on your giveaway there? I think I did a couple hundred away.
Let's take a look. Let me look at it real quick. All right, I am at 9,794 followers, so we are less than 200 away from this giveaway.
Right on.
I am blown away by this.
And you're getting close on your YouTube 1,000, right?
Yeah. So I'm less than 100 away.
That's amazing. What's your watch time like, if you don't mind asking? I mean, are you on good pace or?
No, I'm a little low on that. So that I'm going to have to work on getting that up. But
well, you're so close to the 1,000 now. Don't worry about that now, and just start worrying on some watch time.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely. Yeah.
Because if you're that close to the 1,000, you might as well just start working on watch time now.
Will do. Yep. Well, and you know what? Honestly, I haven't even been focusing on the YouTube that much, but it's the way I did my giveaway.
Right.
Yeah. So the giveaway is it's for 10K on Instagram, but in order for you to enter in it, you have to go to my YouTube page. So
yeah, that was good. And I would keep encouraging, that your Instagram followers, because at 10,000, that's a lot. Encourage them people to move over to your YouTube, because
absolutely,
there's a lot of people that come out of nowhere and have huge YouTube channels just because they had bigger other social media to push them through. It does help a bunch. It does.
Yep. Well, just like the 1,000 subscribers on YouTube is like your first really big milestone. 10K on Instagram is also, because then you can do the swipe ups. So basically, once I hit 10,000 followers, any of my stories, I can actually put a link in. So, for example,
see, I don't know anything about that kind of stuff on Instagram. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
So I can advertise my YouTube channel on my stories right now. I can just let people know, hey, I got a video up. The link is in my bio, so they have to go to my page, click the link, and then go to that link.
Yeah.
Once I hit 10,000, I can put the actual link to the video and attach it to that story post.
See, I'm gonna start working a little harder on the Instagram then.
Exactly. Then all they gotta do is just put their finger and swipe up, and it takes them straight to the link. So yeah, that's a big deal.
Thank you, Donna.
That is actually. I mean, that's huge, because a lot of people won't reroute themselves to your front page to get to the bio.
It's a lot easier, because a lot of people are like, I'm going to keep watching the stories. I'm not going to go to his page.
Or they'll all get it in a minute and everybody forgets,
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's kind of one of those situations where if you see that there's multiple steps to get something done, people probably aren't going to do it.
Right.
Well, go ahead and feel free to let people know exactly what they got to do for your giveaway, what's going on with it, and what they're getting in that thing, if you want to. I mean, it's up to you.
Okay.
Or there may be somebody in here that doesn't know yet, so go ahead and feel free to let them know.
Okay. So my Instagram page is Eastern Florida Pythons. Okay. I am doing a 10,000 follower giveaway, and the animal that we are giving away is not just a little like possible het male or anything. This is a legitimate black pewter female, 2020 black pewter female ball python. So a 2-gene female, really pretty. I'm
entered. I think I'm entered anyway. I think I did the right thing.
Yeah. So it's a really awesome girl. She's eating really well. Produced by me. I didn't buy her from somebody else. This is an animal that I have seen since day one. And a matter of fact, if you're an Instagram follower, you have probably seen her since day one, because I post every day, multiple times a day, all my babies as they're even in the egg, they come out. So you guys know. So once we hit 10,000 followers on my Instagram page, like I said, less than 200 away, which is unbelievable, I will be giving this away. Now, in order for you guys to enter, you have to go to my YouTube channel, also Eastern Florida Pythons, okay? There's a giveaway.
I'll put the link down in the description right now.
Okay. There is a giveaway video, and he's going to put a link in there for that, but there's a giveaway video that you need to go and you need to watch in full, all right? Watch it in full so you get all the rules and regulations and everything, and then make sure you have entered. Now, the way to enter is comment on that video, one comment. The only stipulation I have is you have to be in the U.S. for this to work. Because I'm not going to send it out. I'm not going to send it, overseas or anything. And let me show you the female.
Yeah, I said the same thing about my shirts, because I mentioned it in the video I'm making now. It's like, man, I'll ship overseas. They got to help with the shipping. I remember, I shipped the shirt to Canada. It was like $20-some just for shipping.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so this is the girl. This is her, 2020. She hatched out on the 28th of July. She's had many males. Very pretty little girl. Let me see if I can brighten this up just a little
Looks
bit.
Good. Looks
good. Super healthy little female. I love her to pieces. But yeah, so and the pairing for this was a pastel banana bred to a black pastel female. So this is the only pewter I got in the clutch. I also got 2 banana black pastels, a pastel, and a normal. So yeah, so this is the 10K giveaway girl. And and then the other thing about shipping animals overseas, it's expensive because you still have to ship it like super fast. It can't sit in there for like 2 or 3 weeks,
Right.
Yeah, I can't go through some crazy quarantine. Yeah, that's just insane.
I believe there is a couple of companies though that if you do look into doing that, they can actually arrange it for you. You just pay them, and they get the shipment all worked out. So yeah, so that's our 10K giveaway girl, and she is absolutely beautiful.
She's gonna fit in nicely over here at my collection when I get her. So
Yeah.
Rupert said he shipped a hoodie to Australia for only $10. How in the hell did you do that? I shipped a T-shirt to Canada. Cost me $22. Maybe it's cheaper going to Australia. I don't know. Man, it cost me a fortune just to get that damn shirt to Canada.
That seems cheap.
yeah, because he sent one to Gay, but she's in Australia, so I do know that. So
yeah, $10. Damn.
Sorry.
Well, like I said, I'll work with anybody wanting to get a T-shirt or something. Then we just got to take the difference. I kind of accepted so much for the shirts for here, but going over there, if somebody pays the difference, I don't care. I'll ship wherever, just as long as they help.
Yeah.
Oh, he did it through Teespring. That's why. Like he's got a Teespring account, so they probably shipped it to her.
Yeah, that's probably why too. Yeah.
I have that too. I have my own little Teespring store, and I've noticed that like overseas they actually have. Actually, I think the company is technically overseas, but they have like different places where they ship out and craft.
Yeah, it's probably whichever one's closer. Yeah, whatever facility's closer.
Yeah. So
awesome. What modern exotics company? Welcome.
So can't wait for the giveaway.
Yeah.
And, so being a big time Instagram follower or Instagrammer and a YouTuber now, I mean, we're pretty honored to have big time people like you on the show.
Fancy fans. We call people like you fancy fans.
I appreciate
it. I was telling Justin, and we talked about it, that what I like about Solomon here is, and he said it in many of his videos, that if you subscribe to him, he will subscribe to you, and he will try to comment on everything. He's not expecting nobody.
Yeah, we can't guarantee we'll watch everything, but I mean, if you're reptile people, it's good to connect.
But
for sure.
He's not trying to get y'all to subscribe and then you ride his coattails. I mean, he's actually going to be one that'll subscribe to you back, and and answer your comments too. Which is good.
Yeah,
for sure.
So,
for sure.
I want to stress something to everybody, and this is things that I have really learned over the past year and a half as I've been building this Instagram following. Instagram is actually really important. To me, I think it's gotten bigger than Facebook as far as running a business wise is concerned, for sure.
Oh yeah, Facebook's the devil.
Yeah, but just how important it really is to really be focusing on your actual social media presence, especially in this day and age. One thing that I've found very interesting for me is when I started breeding ball pythons again, I had it in my mind, eventually, I hope within the first year, I'm going to be able to do reptile shows. So I can see people in person, bring some inventory and stuff to these shows and have people buy them. Well, let me tell you something. All my Instagram followers, I'm about to get all sassy here. Just let y'all know, I'm about to get all sassy. Y'all are the reason why I can't go do any reptile shows, because every time I have babies, y'all are snapping them up on me. Seriously. because of my Instagram following and because I am so active with everybody that I possibly can, I have people on waiting lists for animals that haven't even hatched yet.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you can't go wrong with that at all.
No. I've been able to in the 28 babies that I've hatched so far this year. I've been able to put 4 on Work Market. That's it.
So you just open you a little table with another chair at the expos and stuff, and just say, "Come sit and bullshit with me."
Yeah.
I ain't got no critters. You already bought them all. Just sit and talk.
Oh yeah. But you know what? I love it. It's very important. Now, I can't guarantee that that's going to be the way it is for everybody. But I can tell you, most likely, that some of the larger name breeders, they don't have that blessing. They don't get to do that. They probably don't sell anything on Instagram because they're not active like that. You know, I know most of the people on here. I know, and I have talked to most of the people that are in the comments right now. They message me, or I see something in their stories. You know, it's just the way it works. You know, I have a good working relationship with everybody. Mary, I've known Mary since almost the beginning of my Instagram. I mean, I've known her for a long time. I know that she had an Instagram and then it got deleted. And she started up another one, and as soon as she did, she didn't ask me to or anything. I saw that she had to restart, and I immediately shared her stuff. You know,
She makes the best post. Man, she makes killer posts. She'll take a crappy post and jazz it all up, and then show it back to me, and it's like, oh, that's cool, and then I'll share that one.
But that's the thing about Instagram. It's the reptile community, but I feel like you get the better parts of the community as a community on Instagram.
Well, you can personally talk a little bit more. YouTube, there's no real way to connect without being out in the open. You know,
Right.
So it does help with the Instagram, with stuff like that. Anyway.
Exactly. So Instagram, I think. Thanks, man. I appreciate that very much. So Instagram is I can't stress enough how important it is. And the thing is, if there is a learning curve to it, it's not so much just posting pictures and expecting big things to happen. You have to really work it to your advantage because of these algorithms. I believe in 2016 is when they started doing the algorithm. So it's no longer a point where you post a picture and it's in the lineup of all the people that follow you in that exact order. You can post a picture every single day. You can post a picture every single day, and your followers may never see it. So it's using the algorithm, okay? And what that means, and I'm going to give you a couple tips if that's okay. Can I give everybody some tips?
Sure.
All right. First and foremost, and now these aren't 100% guaranteed. This is how you're going to get successful, but I'm going to give you a couple of tips that'll help you out big time. Number one, post consistently, okay? When I say post consistently, that doesn't mean you have to post every day at the exact same time of day. That doesn't mean you have to post 20 times a day. It means just post consistently. So if you post once a day, don't miss a day. Make sure you post once a day, okay? If you post once every 2 weeks, post once every 2 weeks, but don't miss it. Don't go over it for 3 weeks. So you do that, your standings kind of drop down. Instagram algorithm wants to see that you are doing things. Wants to see active accounts, and you're going to be higher up on the scene list, basically. Also, if you want to see someone else's stuff, like if, for example, you follow an account, one of your favorite accounts in the entire world that you have, that you can follow, but you just don't ever see their stories pop up, or you don't see their pictures pop up. You know how to change that? Go to their page, start interacting with them, direct message them, comment on their pictures, multiple pictures. Instagram's algorithm will actually recognize that, and as you being favorites, or you highly interact with those accounts, then you'll start seeing them. There's like 40 or 50 accounts that are always in the very beginning of my stories at the top, where I can watch every one of them without fail. I never miss them. The same with their pictures. So if you want to start seeing things, interact with people. At the same time, work on trying to get interactions with other people because that way they'll be able to see you. But yeah, so consistency is key. It doesn't matter how often you do it, just make sure you do it as consistent as possible. Once a week, twice a week. I do it once a day. That's just the way I do. Second of all, interact with your followers. Big deal. If somebody comments on something, comment back. Now you're going to miss some. Okay, I get hundreds and hundreds.
I tell that to people on YouTube all the time. I see all the time people never comment back. I always try to heart and comment back every comment.
Yeah.
It's hard, but I try to get everyone.
Yeah, even if you reply in an emoji, just a smiley face emoji, that is still interaction. And that is the stuff that social media likes. So Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, they like that. Now, I have a lot of videos on my giveaway page, or a lot of comments on my giveaway, but I haven't replied to all those because partially the reason why is I'm going to do a comment generator, and I don't want any potential mix-up where my comment gets thrown in there too. But I try to answer all of them I can, and that's just part of it. So make sure you interact with people. Also, here's another thing that I want to talk to people about, and I did this on my live video. Stickers. If you're selling stickers, you are probably in the wrong. All right? A lot of people will sell their stickers. Do not do that. This is the absolute most inexpensive, best marketing tool that you can possibly get.
Yes, sir.
I know. I was looking. I don't think we've traded, and I do want to trade after this. If you have
Absolutely. We'll definitely trade. This is your best marketing tool that has ever been designed. Back in the day when I did ball python breeding, remember I told you everybody hated each other and stuff?
Yep.
This was not even remotely thought about.
Nope.
And so when I came back into the industry and I started seeing this, I was like, that's the coolest thing ever. Don't sell your stickers, folks. Get your stickers
That's
made.
what drew me to Instagram because I've always been a sticker head, man. I've rode dirt bikes my whole, a bunch of my life, and stickers are a big part of that. So when I see people on Instagram start trading stickers, it was like, man, I got to order some now. It was like I had to get into that game. Yeah, I love that. I love
people
trading.
say, hey, do you need me to send you money for stickers? I'm like, no, I got them, dude. You know,
Dude, I'll send people a stamp just to get their sticker. I don't care. I want somebody.
Whatever. Yeah. But this is perfect as long as people follow the same etiquette that they should. So, and this is what I tell people, and I try to do this every single chance I get. If somebody wants to swap stickers, actually, sometimes people are like, hey, I was wondering if you have any stickers, and they don't even have stickers to swap. I still send it to them. Because
I send out stickers to anybody who wants one. Yep,
exactly.
Anybody who wants one.
When they get it, that is exposure. So I will say, yeah, they will, a lot of times will take a picture and they'll do something on their story on Instagram and say, hey, Eastern Florida Pythons, thank you for the sticker. Y'all go check them out. Boom, free shout out. There you go.
Yeah, Irondogg got his behind him. I got a huge wall in my snake room. Yeah, man. Most people in here love the stickers. For sure.
So hang on, let me turn those light on real quick. And I don't. This isn't even remotely all of them. I've got probably.
I'm full on my board, so you know.
Check that out.
I'm kicking old stickers off to make room for new stickers.
Yeah.
Right on.
So instead of putting mine on my incubator, I've actually I've framed them just like he did back there. That way they're movable. So if I get another, if I eventually move to a new facility or whatever, I can do that. And when I tell you I have a bunch of stickers that I haven't gotten to do that yet, let me show you just how big of a stack of stickers that I still have that I have not yet put on there.
Well, I definitely want to trade because I look at it and I don't think we've traded.
That's probably 300 or 400 stickers right there. Yeah. So
I've still got piles that I haven't even got up, but I'm full. I got to get a new frame now. So.
Yeah. My idea hopefully is to have the upper part of all the walls in my snake room completely framed out with stickers. Right. So stickers are a great marketing tool. Great marketing tool. You shout out who sent, the stickers that are sent to you, they do the same thing. Some people don't.
Make a shout out for every sticker.
Yep. Big breeders I've noticed are really bad about that. I have swapped
There's some of them
stickers
won't even talk to a fella.
too. Yeah.
I knew he was going to spit his drink.
That's all because that's a whole story right there. He Billy at Mutation Creation, he will respond to Justin. He'll talk to him, but as soon as Justin says anything about a sticker, he just shuts up.
He won't give me an address. He won't do nothing. He'll talk to me about other stuff, but as soon as I mention the sticker trade or anything, I told him, I said, I don't need all them stickers of people's faces and all that, just a sticker trade. Just a couple of the mutation stations pictures. I don't need the big pack, any of that. And he's all like, yeah, he won't even talk to me. So it's
Weird.
It cracked me up.
I traded with him, but that was before he did the old sticker thing, the sticker pack.
I even asked him, I said, do I got to buy your stickers to be able to get you one of my stickers? How do I even get an address? What do I do? And he just won't respond to me. I've had other people say, I'll give you his address. It's like, nope, I want him to give me his address. I'm not trading him.
Yeah. But, so I don't do that. I traded with a very big breeder this year. Traded with a very big breeder. I sent them stickers. They sent me stickers back. Now, I will say this. That's about the best that I've gotten so far. They sent them, and it wasn't Billy Mutation. It was a different one. Very, very well known, especially on YouTube. But they sent me stickers back. I shouted them out. Crickets. Didn't acknowledge that. I've sent them messages. They don't even return them. It's really crappy. And so I'm almost at 10,000. Who knows how many thousands I'll get going forward. If I ever get to 100,000, to 200, to 1,500, or 150,000, a million followers or subscribers, I will never treat anyone like that. Ever.
Yeah.
I will never treat anybody like that. I will never be too good or too big for someone. Because guess what? We all start somewhere. And that person started somewhere too.
We're a different breed of people than what they are too, though. We were probably raised a different way, and that's the way it is.
I've seen it in here too, and it cracks me up. And I've held my tongue. We've had a stream or two where I'll see a name come through, and it's like, yeah, I know we've traded stickers, and I don't have yours. I don't ever say nothing, but it's like I've seen a couple, and it's like, man, should I say something or shouldn't I? But I don't.
Yeah. But I mean,
I traded.
I've had it happen to me. I've run out of stickers, had to reorder them, and man, I thought I got everybody, and man, I forgot to send one to Patent Pending Python. I said, "You never got my sticker?" He goes, "No." I'm like, "Man," I said, "I feel bad because, here I thought I sent you one. I got them."
Trying to say too in some of the lives, hey, if we're supposed to trade, no, if somebody's never got my sticker, let me know. I'll ship it out immediately.
Absolutely.
But I mean,
shit does happen. I mean.
Now what I do is every time somebody asks me, I fill it out on the envelope, and then
I try to keep up with them as I get them, just so I don't get behind.
One time a week, and then I'll send a whole stack out every week, and at least I got their names written down, and it's right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, since this whole virus thing has shown up, for whatever reason, it seems like the virus has completely affected just with actually the mail system's ability to get anything anywhere where it's supposed to in a timely fashion. I have had tons of people not get my stuff that I've sent them. I don't know if y'all have had that problem, but the mail service has been atrocious since all this.
Not that I've heard from anybody. Well, except for Marino's Morse. I'm pretty sure I know I sent his out, and it must have got lost because I had to send him another one recently.
I think I've only had
He's
one.
the only one that I know of.
One guy sent me stickers, and they got lost in the mail, and he got me another set out. And it was weird, but I mean, it happens. And yeah,
Jason,
Jason,
a blank envelope.
I'm not talking about you.
Man, I'm busy. I forgot to put the sticker in there.
I did that once too. They're like, you sent me an empty envelope. Oh, I was filling out like 120 of those envelopes that day.
I always try, but I try to say something though, because it's like, man, I don't want them to see my wall and not see their sticker on there, And
yeah.
it's like, so it's like, hey, the envelope was empty. You don't have to send me another one, but if you look at my wall and it's not there, this is why. But if you want to send me one, I'll put it up there. It's like, because it's hard to, you don't want to. I don't want nobody to say, "Oh, where's my sticker?" It's like I put every one of them up there. So
yeah. I mean, I tell anybody if you want one of my stickers, leave me a DM in Instagram, your address, I'll get you one out. And I'm learning with this Instagram because I'm not real big on posting pictures. I mean, I need to get more active on Instagram, and
Yeah.
because I was always focused on YouTube, I'm not big on Facebook. I have an account, but I don't. That's not where I go to do much. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I need to do more on Instagram myself. You know, I mean, I'm slacking there.
So I have a couple of YouTube videos you may want to watch. This kind of gives you some tips here and there on how to help you. But one of the things that I really want people to understand, and especially in this day and age, one of the most important things you need to be doing if you have an Instagram account and you are sharing pictures of snakes is you need to be watermarking your pictures, because there are so many scammers now. Mary knows, trust me, she is one of the greatest people in the entire world when it comes to going after the scammers. And the RIPS group that they have. The integrity for the reptile people and everything is awesome. But make sure you're watermarking your pictures, because these scumbags are stealing pictures from other breeders that aren't watermarked, or they aren't even, or they'll even cut out the watermark if you don't put the watermark on your picture.
It's easy to go around that. You just slap yours right over the top. That happens everywhere. It's huge in like the dog industry too.
Oh, it is.
I've seen people sell animals with other people's pictures constantly. It's insane.
Yep.
I tell you what, if anybody on here is purchasing a snake and you're not sure if they're legit, give Mary a DM. I did. I asked her. This is funny. I go, hey, can you find out about this person? Instantly got a reply. Scam. I mean, I'm like, God damn, that was fast. You know, I was like, I mean, instantly she already knew. You know, I mean,
right.
Because the guy was people were buying, and they were sending money, and he was keeping the money. I mean, you don't want to be like. I mean, that's going to drive a new person out of this industry fast. You know what I mean?
Yep. So the easiest way, and a lot of people think that watermarking is very difficult, but it's not. It is super easy, especially nowadays. You don't have to have a massive amount of like Photoshop knowledge, any of that stuff. Guess what? You can do it on your cell phone. So I can take a photograph of my cell phone. I can edit it on my cell phone if I want to make it look good. And then there's apps like this one. It's called Easy, the letters Easy Watermark Light. Right, like that. It's just an app. I upload the picture, or choose a picture that I want. We'll go to my library here. I already did one, but I'll do it again real quick so you see. There we go. I have my clown ball python right there, right? Just hit the check mark right there, and I go up here. Not the add autograph. I hit the library, or I already have it uploaded. It's just a PNG. Push that right there. There's the watermark. I can move it around, make it as big or as small as I want to, just like that, and then hit the check mark. It saves it right there. You can do watermarks on your phone super quick. Easy, the letter EZ, watermark light. Easy app on your phone.
And I would say what you need to put that on your animal, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, you should. You definitely should.
Put it on your snake.
Well, yeah, because you can crop it off if you don't.
Right. Exactly. That's what I see a lot of people.
Exactly, and I got to get better at doing that myself. But yeah, I like that. That's exactly how you do it. It's so important to protect yourself and protect other people. By putting your watermark on, you are protecting others. You are helping others. And I'm sorry, but helping other people is what we should be doing in this industry.
Right.
If we're
that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, we want people to be happy. Hey, Chrissy, can I have a bottle of water? Thank you. My German Shepherd's in here. She's my girl. But if you want people,
is she gonna get you the bottle of water?
No, my wife is.
Oh, I was just like, I know there's dogs that can do that shit. I wanted to watch.
No, not this one. She's pretty useless, other than being cute and sweet and adorable. But she's a mess. Apparently it must be raining outside, so she's freaking out that there's gonna be thunder. She's the biggest chicken ever.
I got a German Shepherd the same way. Fireworks, thunder, anything.
Yep. Thanks, I appreciate it. She won't stay. She wants to get out. Just leave the door open if you want. Well, okay, whatever. But anyway, yeah, so we want people in this industry, and that is about the quickest way to, like you said, to kick people out is get scammed, and those people will never come back.
Right.
And you know what? If your pictures are stolen and used in a scam, there's a good chance that if that person does stick with the industry, goes back in and sees that same picture that they got scammed on your page, they're probably not even they're not gonna like you. I mean, they're gonna stay away because they're like, yeah, I'm a little iffy on that one. So, yeah, definitely watermark. Watermark is very, very important.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. Any tips on Instagram is great. You know, I mean, Mary, she's like, why I put a flag by people's DM. I don't even know how to do stuff like that. You know, I mean, what are you talking about a flag? You know, so I mean, there's stuff I don't even know how to do. You know, I just learned.
She'll take my post, like she'll put
music.
music to it, a bunch of flashing things, all kind of stuff.
I just learned how to do that.
Big on it.
On there.
yeah,
I can put some words on it. I'm not sure how to put all that crap on it yet. But.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I just happened to hit something. I'm like, oh, that's how you do that? Wow, you know, by accident. You know, I mean,
okay.
yeah, I mean,
so it must have thundered. My shepherd is literally laying right across underneath my desk at my feet. That's her safe place. I love this girl. You're a good girl, Chris. So, but yeah, I'm a big proponent for Instagram, and I think the follower count has kind of shown that I know what I'm talking about for the most part. So I am all about showing. But I bring this up. I bring it up every time I get this kind of message. And I'm sure you guys have probably gotten messages like this too, but people have got to stop messaging people with large follower counts that they need to share their account without putting any of the work in. I have gotten
people sell that shit.
yeah.
I know.
People sell shout outs. Send me $5, I'll say your name on my channel. And they're making sick.
Yep. But I've had people multiple times already message me and say, hey, you never spoken to me before, ever. Not one comment or anything. Their first interaction with me, and I'm sorry, but first impressions are very important. Their first interaction with me is, hey, will you share my page so I can get more followers? Not, hi, I love your account. It's great. If you want to do a mutual share, I'll share yours, you share mine, or any of that. No, I need you to give me part of the bounty that you've received from all the work that you put in, so I don't have to put in any work. That is parasitic. I call them parasites. I'm like, and I tell it to I'll send them a message back. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I cannot support a parasite. You are literally, I mean, you are literally using me to get what you want without, it's not a symbiosis, which is what it should be. Now, here's the thing. If you message me and you're like, how do I get followers like that? Can you help me out? I will help anybody else out in the entire world. But in this day and age, everybody wants something for free. They don't want to put into the work. And I think that's part of the reason we have so many issues right now. Nobody wants to work. I will show you. I will give you the tools to work. You can teach a man to fish. Feed him forever, but you can't actually make him actually fish.
That's like the whole horse with the water. You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make it drink it.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. It's like, come on. And generally, I block people that do that because it's rude. It's rude. I will show you how to put in the work to get it done, but I am not doing it for you because guess what? I'm sorry. I put blood, sweat, and tears, literal blood from all the snake bites that I've gotten in my collection to get all these cool pictures and stuff. To get those followers. And by the way, another thing, once you gain a lot of followers, you've got to maintain it. If you start dropping down and you don't show content, people will drop you. They get bored.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's what's bad about YouTube. YouTube will take away a subscriber, then they'll add some, and it's weird. I mean, I probably follow. I know I follow way more people than follow me, but that's just how I am, I guess. But
right.
But there's a lot of people I get that I look at their account, I'm like, no, I'm not following you. People that just want to post pictures of that's not even their animals, I mean, stuff like that.
Yeah, those DM for a shout out or DM for a collaboration and we'll feature you. Yeah, those I don't really follow those accounts either. They annoy me. It's like they're getting something with everybody else's work.
I mean, it's one thing that I know some of them will say, hey, the picture I'm going to credit it's so and so's picture, but a lot of them don't,
No. I think that's kind of stupid, but yeah, I love Instagram, and I will always sing its praises because it's great for everybody. It really helps your business out. It helps your business grow, for sure. And I got to be honest. I can't thank all of my followers enough. I have some of the most amazing people on my Instagram that follow me, like Mary. Mary's a great person, and Will and Jennifer, you guys are great, and all the other people that follow me. Like, I couldn't do what I do without them. I don't think I would have gotten. I don't think I'd be as successful as I am right now if it wasn't for them. And this is something that a lot of people have a problem with, is they forget that their success is because of other people.
Exactly.
Especially in this. I can
And
produce left and
the
right.
big time breeders do that too. I see these big time YouTubers. Hey, we all go follow my kid's channel and this. They're just making their kid get famous off of you hitting the subscribe button that they're never even going to recognize you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. No, patent pending. You're not a loser. Yeah, they're another one. Actually, if you just watch my YouTube video, my latest one, I actually shouted them out. I got a. Oh, that actually, you know what? He just brought up a very important thing. So, marketing.
See you, Jennifer. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it.
Yep. T-shirts are a big marketing tool too. And I actually just bought one from Patent Pending. Like, I saw that he was posting. Hopefully he's sold a few more. I don't know. But I was the very first person. As soon as he posted it up his store, I bought one of his shirts and I wore it on my YouTube video, because guess what? That is a way for me to show support to somebody else.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, T-shirts can be expensive sometimes, and I understand that, but one shirt, it's not going to kill most people. And you know what's cool? I bought a shirt from them, and I shouted them out, and guess what they did? They went to my store, and they bought a shirt from me. Because I showed support for them, it was reciprocated. I didn't ask them to, but they did. So, I am always one of those kind of people that if somebody's scratching your back, scratch their back too. It's not that difficult. Whether that's buy some of their products, that's buy a T-shirt, or just doing like what we talked about, just hitting that subscribe back button. It's not that hard. I mean,
it's free.
Exactly.
It's free.
That is the easiest, most free way to show another person's support. Now,
Exactly.
I subscribe to tons and tons of reptile people on my YouTube. So if people, subscribe to me and they are a reptile account, I follow them back. I don't subscribe to everybody because, personally, I don't want to. I'm not necessarily interested in the music as much and all those, but reptile stuff, I'll hit a subscribe back. I may never watch a video from them. Most of the time I do. It's not every video. I mean, I followed so many, but it's not every one of them. But I do support them back, and I won't unsubscribe to them.
Right.
Because in the grand scheme of things, yes, your watch time is a big deal, but you can't even begin to consider monetization on your YouTube channel until you hit 1,000.
Right.
Now, I know,
Yeah,
I mean, you
yeah,
have to have certain
that's
knowledge.
a 50-50 though. One may be harder for the other, so it's just equally as your watch time is just as important as your subscriber
Right,
count,
yeah.
if
Oh,
not
yeah.
more. Because I know
Yeah.
people that have 3,000 subscribers and they've been on YouTube 5 years and they'll never have the watch time.
Yep. So, but I mean, it's just the subscription is just, I mean, it's an easy way to support people. And I'm sorry, and I'll tell you this right now. It may not even be monetary support. It may not be anything other than, oh my goodness, this person followed me back or subscribed back. That makes me so amazing. I see people share all the time when some of the big name breeders follow them back. It's like the coolest thing in the entire world for them. And I mean, it is cool, but unless they really do much about it, it's not that crazy. It's just because of who followed them that it's the big deal. Sometimes just swallowing. Wow, that was weird. Just following somebody. Well, I did Mary typed smash, and I was thinking following, so I put the SM in front of it. That was so. Oh, that happens all the time. Sometimes following people back is like the biggest just encouragement. That it's like if this person who is this successful follows little old me, I must be doing something right. And sometimes that's all you need.
Right.
Sometimes that's all people need. It's just that little bit of encouragement. So,
I mean, especially if you get somebody that follows you and you look at them, they're like got 20 followers and they're starting out. I mean, and they got ball pythons. That means they're trying. I mean, and that is.
You know the worst part about that, as far as YouTube goes and subscribers, the subscriber that follows you, that watches your video, that has 0 subscribers, that's your best subscriber.
Yes.
Yep. Always.
Because he's there only for the content. He's not there to make friends on YouTube.
Absolutely.
If somebody's got no subscribers to their channel and they're commenting, watching your video, that is the best subscriber you can have.
Yep.
Because they're only there for your content. They can give a shit about who you are.
Yep. It's the same with Instagram too.
So what's your feelings on Patreon?
Okay. So okay.
Because I know Youper's wanting to get bigger on Instagram. I think he needs a fans only page.
Oh yeah, the only fans.
Okay. Yeah, there's an up and a down to all that,
but Patreon, I want to hear your opinion on that though.
Okay, so I typically try to stay away from very controversial topics on my Instagram page, like going into spider gene. I'm not getting into that, whether I like it or not. Brian Barczyk, I don't get into that, whether I like him or not. It's just I try to stay away from controversy, and I would beg to say that Patreon is somewhat that way, but even though it's kind of new. Now, here's my thoughts on it. I'm not going to drop names on who did it, who's doing it, or whatever. And in all honesty, it's their prerogative. But me as a person, because I am here to give as much help to anybody else as I possibly can. I live. My mantra is just the age-old the age-old adage of, well, let's do unto others the way that you'd like to be treated, even though they don't treat you back that way necessarily. I will never charge anyone for my help. I have this knowledge that I have built over a career in the wildlife industry, and I like sharing that with other people. And I would beg to say, had someone else not helped me when I first started out, I might not be where I'm at today. So no matter how big I get, I will probably never do a Patreon. I don't feel like that.
but have you ever thought about it to where if you do a Patreon just to where people can support you, but you give no different content to your Patreon than you do your open members, then it's just support for your channel. It has nothing to do. They're not paying for anything.
Right. So okay, that's okay if that's the route that somebody wants to take. But part of me feels, to me, it feels kind of cheap to me. And this is my personal opinion. To me, it cheapens it to me. It's no different than, and I'm going to use Instagram because that's like something I know. If you go into some of the highest follower count Instagram, people. They are these super attractive Instagram models, right? That
Right.
don't do anything but take a picture of themselves, a selfie, every single day, and they have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers.
But they're the ones that started Instagram.
I know, I agree, but you know that they're that
If
high.
it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be on there.
But then they put in their link, their Amazon wish list, right?
Oh, yeah.
So they are you know, they want you to buy them stuff, and then to me, that's how I feel that the Patreon would be.
Well,
that way.
can I ask a question about that then? Okay,
Yeah.
let's say when you get monetized and you're fully monetized and you do a live, are you going to shut off the super chat?
The what?
The super chat.
What's that?
Because
It's
people
like
can donate straight to your page. You can be on a live. I can be on a live and somebody can just donate $20 just to say, here's for your animal. I mean, if you're against a Patreon, would you shut off the super chat?
Yeah, I personally, I probably would. I'm gonna be honest. I probably would. And that's just me. If that's the way that you guys do, that's fine. I'm not saying anything against.
Right.
Again, this is all personal opinion. That's just who I am and the way that I feel. Each person is entitled.
Well,
to
no, that's
their
why I asked, because if you're on the other side, I wanted to hear what the answer was. That's why.
Yeah.
It's different on how they do things.
I think there's a difference though on that. I mean, people will donate like on a super chat. Hey, here's some money to help
I didn't even know
with
about
the
that.
t-shirt giveaway, or you know, or for food for your animals, you know, to support your channel. But I think when you're out there trying to start a Patreon and saying, hey, you know, you got to give me $1 or $5, or you want to be on this level at $100 a month, or
Well, that's why I
hey,
asked the question I did in the beginning.
if you donate, I've seen them $5,000 and $10,000. You donate that every month for a year, I'll fly you out here to meet me, dude. Come on, I mean, you're giving that guy a living. I mean,
Yes.
it's you're not really getting. I mean, you getting early access to a video. I mean, if you want my help, I'll do it for free. I don't think charging somebody, you know, on that. I mean, I don't know. I think a super
that's
chat
what
is
I'm against.
completely
If you
different.
do a Patreon and then you're only doing all this crazy content and saying, oh, only my Patreon can have it and stuff, I think that's kind of crazy. But if you had an open Patreon that was just there for someone to actually support you quietly, that didn't want to be in a, you know, comment or something like that, I think it's amazing.
Well, that would be fine. I'm just saying where you're asking, hey, if you want me to say, I'm going to shout your name out every week if you give me $10 a month. I don't think
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
and that's what they do.
There's the devil of it. Yeah, it's where if people do it specifically for money, and then it just happens to people that, you know, just because there's people that want to help, you know.
Right.
Yeah, and that's where I'm going with it. Is when you're asking people to give you money to basically support you.
And you know the funny thing about that is, you know, you can't even get an actual true Join Me Patreon. It's not even called a Patreon page. You can't even get any of that shit actually truly on YouTube until you're 30,000 subscribers. Everybody that has a Join Me on their page is an outside money-making influence that has nothing to do with YouTube.
So my opinion is, and the reason why I think I would turn off that super chat too, just for me, I didn't get into this to make money off of myself. I really wanted, you know, this is a ball python breeding business. I want people to buy my stuff. I want them to buy my snakes and to an extent my logos. That's it. That's all I sell for.
Yeah, but you don't think you got a fan out there that would be a fan of you enough to maybe want to give you $10 and say, hey, I want to help feed your rats today? That right there is amazing. That makes, you know, I mean, you're not charging somebody for something.
You can take that money, leave that super chat on, and say, hey, people donate and say, hey, I've got $100 worth of donations this month, and I'm going to use it to buy a thermostat to give away. You see what I'm saying?
That would be cool.
You can do stuff like that.
That's like my channel. My channel, if I get a super chat, everything goes back into my channel 100%, no matter what.
Yes.
And that's why I think people help me. It pays for my internet to go live. It pays for my food for my rats. It pays for everything that I have to. It'd take me 10 years to ever make enough money off of YouTube to where I profit.
Yeah.
But if somebody wants to help me along my way because they just want to support my channel, I think that is amazing. I make videos to try to make money to pay so I have better care for my animals.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, it's not like I'm trying to like manipulatively like, oh, I want everybody's money, but I do make videos on YouTube on purpose to make money to take care of my animals. A lot of people start this business and they think, oh, I'm going to get all these snakes and they're going to make me all this money. I want to make YouTube makes my money, but they do it all the time. But YouTube, I'm the opposite. I want YouTube to end up paying me to take care of my animals to show to people.
Right.
And that's what I do now.
And there's people that it does make, like Donna says, it makes them feel good to donate to your channel, because to them, they're living their life maybe through you because they can't have snakes or something. So if they donate a little bit of money and they see their name highlighted, hey, you know, and they may have 0 followers, dude. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, you can, if, like he said, I take all the money and I donate it back into my animals or into my channel. I think that's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
because
like
you're not
I don't know if
you're not
hand pay.
That's a different perspective that I never even really thought about.
Because we don't sit there.
That's why we're talking, though. That's why we're talking.
Yeah.
I have a guy that comes in my stream. He's a gambler. That guy is terrified of creatures. He don't like spiders. I mean, he's like a puppy or a cat or something, you know. But he hates spiders. He loves our community. He comes in. If he sees you in this chat, he'll get to your channel and you'll see his comment. The guy, he's a supportive person. He loves our community. Yeah. He thinks we're great, and he's very supportive. And he don't even like critters. It's amazing, you know. And just because we're building a good group of people that just want to be around each other, you know, it's fun.
In the super chat down there, when they hit it, it's not you. We don't ask for anybody to hit it.
Nope. Yeah.
So when they do it on their own because they want to, it's crazy. You know, it's crazy. You know.
Well, it's kind of a satisfying on both ends because, you know, I do YouTube videos because I use YouTube so much. It's my way of kind of giving back. Right. So if I'm giving back and people are helping me along my way because they want to help what I'm doing, that makes me kind of feel like I'm doing something right. You know, I mean, I don't know if that's, you know, bad or anything, but no, you know, I mean. And that's like we were talking like the stickers, dude. When I see somebody's sticker behind somebody's head in an Instagram video or YouTube, I get chills to this day every time I see my sticker. Every time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I mean, you know, I've seen people throw like Mason said, $400 or $500 super chats, and you're like, what? But I think it's their way of saying, you know, Merry Christmas or whatever, you know. Hey, thank you for everything you do. But a lot of people, you know, they put it back in their hobby or their collection, or they give it back to their subscribers. You know, they help you buy T-shirts, give away T-shirts, give away stuff.
Yeah, if somebody buys me a bag of F6 rodent food and then they buy a snake from me later in the future, they help take care of the snake they just bought. That's satisfying. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you know what? I never really thought of it that way.
But we're not out there.
It's a crazy game, man. It's not a game, but it's life, you know.
I would never start a Patreon though and ask people to give me money. But if they want to do
I don't like it when they only do like you have to be Patreon to do this. That's what kind of bugs me. And it's not, and everybody to each their own. But I feel like I shouldn't hide and specifically put any of my content. I have nothing that nobody wants to see privately anyway. They're, you know, above anybody else to see. So I mean, to me, it's like my content is all equal, no matter what.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you know what? That's pretty cool. Like, and that's the good thing about talks like this is, you know, it's nice talks. We're talking like grown men. We have our own thoughts on things, and you know, like I never really thought of that perspective.
Well, you're getting close. You got to make that decision here.
I know. Yeah. Another thing you can do too, you know, if they do that, if they donate like that, you can turn around and say, hey, guess what? This week's donations are going to this charity, or you can donate it to a cause too.
Well, yeah, but that gets kind of crazy because there's a lot of people who will do that, and then you'll get people saying, hey, give this $100 to St. Jude. that YouTuber can't give that $100 for one. YouTube's going to take 30% of it.
Yeah.
Then he's got to pay taxes on it. But those
Yeah.
people that are donating are expecting that whole 100 to get there, and it's not. So I would never, I would stay away from that.
Well, you would say it. Yeah.
Like Justin does, he every week he does his own live stream cleaning rats and snakes on his channel every Tuesday. Well, if somebody donates, he puts up, hey, tonight's show was sponsored by, so and so, because they donated, and he runs their links and he runs their picture on the big screen back here. He shouts them out because they just did it out of kindness of their heart. You know what I'm saying? And then
I try to stay back as many ways as I possibly. I wear people's, I wear in mine tonight because they are new. But usually I'll wear like Grab Your Balls, TNT. If I got a shirt from another channel, that's why I get shirts. They're only for live streams, expos, anything like that. Just to show out, help people out.
And then when you're giving away shirts and shit, that's not cheap. I mean.
Oh, no.
Oh, none of it's cheap. The sticker game is not cheap. None of it is.
Right. Yeah. So I mean. That's just giving back to you. But, hey, you're in my chat tonight. We're doing a giveaway. We pull your name. You just got a shirt for free. You know what I mean?
And I tell people, too, if you're here only for the shirt, do not subscribe to my channel. Welcome to the chat. Hang out tonight. Win a shirt. You don't have to subscribe because I don't want somebody to subscribe that doesn't want to watch my stuff. That's pointless,
They only want the free stuff. Yeah.
Which is, I mean, if I can get 10 new people in there and one person stays and joins our community, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Welcome, Bad Blood.
Very cool. Wow. That. Just didn't think
he
about.
says his shirt, Bad Blood is coming. Bad Blood should have his shirt pretty
to think about now, huh?
Yeah. That's. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even know what super chat was. I never heard of it.
Well, you got to remember it's coming.
Yeah.
And that's the difference where you know more about Instagram and he knows way more about YouTube.
Yeah.
But I mean, I see a lot of snake giveaways. You know what I mean? A ton. I see a lot of people on YouTube doing them to get subscribers. Hey, they're 100.
It's getting crazy too. It's getting worse and worse and worse. It is.
But I also see, there's a good way and bad way to do that. If you say you have to pay shipping, that weeds out a lot of people. That
I was just gonna say that I think that's the key to all these giveaways is make them pay the damn shipping. And
but like I told him, if I did one, you're gonna come on the live stream and you're gonna show me you can take care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my giveaway, the stipulation is I get to pick and choose. If I don't feel like you're going to be able to take care of my animal, because I'm not just sending you my animal, I'm sending you my animal that has my name behind it.
Right.
Exactly.
And you cannot, once that animal leaves your collection and goes to somebody else, you cannot, without a shadow of a doubt, prove how that animal looks or arrived, right? So you better make sure that you know who you're giving that thing to. That's I reserve the right to choose or disqualify somebody based on I go through there and everything.
Hey, and remember that too, just as a note to yourself, what we just did earlier today, that was all backstage the first 15 minutes. You can actually set that up with any winner that has a cell phone and make them show you their stuff without it ever going public.
Yeah.
You can set it up privately and say, hey, I want to see the tank. And then if they say, oh, I don't want to be live. No, it's all backstage.
Well, that's what we did today. We did a test this morning to make sure we were good.
It's just a tool. Yeah, it's another tool.
Yeah.
It'll make them think. It's like, if I got to show them, I don't want to get my name in there,
Exactly. And I think that's what I'm going to have to do then. Definitely. Because I am going to announce it on YouTube, but I guess I'll do it this way. This is perfect. That way I can, go ahead and talk to the winner themselves and maybe even get them to jump on while I'm actually doing it after I've already talked to them and stuff.
Right.
Oh, if you can get somebody to go live, that would even be better for your channel. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I've never gone live on YouTube.
Yeah. And see, you don't have to see. This is how we do it without. I don't have 1,000 followers yet, but StreamYard, man, there's no app, man. It's simple, and you can go live.
The video's clear. It looks great. I like it.
No, StreamYard is good. It kind of confuses, I think, if we stream too, because I'm monetized. If I stream too long with the StreamYard, sometimes it doesn't monetize my videos.
Right. But I was, I could have been streaming to YouTube or to Facebook right now at the same time. I could have been streaming to 2 or 3 different platforms tonight if I wanted to, but
that's cool.
I didn't choose
but
to.
We can't do Instagram. That's the one we'd love to do.
They got their own little thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
But
that's why before we started this, I was live on mine, sending people over, and it's cool to see some of the people that I sent over. I mean, I'm sure like Mary and everybody, they watch your stuff anyway. But I had a couple people that came over. So
I seen your live before we started this one.
Yeah.
Oh, I was running behind. I sent that link out to you, but I was like, man, I gotta get into that link. I was busy. I was like, God dang.
That's fine. Yeah, I kept.
It's funny how you schedule these lives, and then all of a sudden it's like your day's almost over. It's like, oh shit, I got tons of things to do. I'm going an hour.
So I actually had to take a nap today because I had the worst migraine of my life. I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be but it worked out really well. Also, one other thing that I want to tell people about is if you're doing a giveaway to try to get subscribers and everything, do it for the right reasons. Subscribers are great, but you're giving an animal away, an actual life away. Make sure you do it. My giveaway was for 10,000 followers, but guess what? Whether I did the giveaway or not, I was going to hit 10K eventually.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I was at 8K in a year and a half of not doing any giveaways. It's going to happen. Yeah. My giveaway is mostly a celebration of hitting that milestone.
That was what my shirt thing was the other night. Those are just a milestone for me. It's the way I wanted to celebrate. Yeah, it's all for me. It's not for,
And give back to the people that support you, Yeah. So make sure you're doing the right kind of giveaway if you're going to do it.
Well, see, Rupert was doing his giveaway, and he's all, this time I always pay the shipping, but this time I need whoever wins to pay the shipping. And it seemed like he felt bad about it, but it was like, no, we talked about it afterwards, even in a live. I think that's the better way to go because you're not going to get that every, I guess, Tom, Dick, and Harry, I guess. I don't know if any other expression, but you're going to eliminate a lot of the people that are just there for no reason.
If they're willing to pay shipping, they're willing to know how to take care of an animal.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's a big deal.
If they have enough money to pay shipping with just how expensive it is, they probably have the means to take care of it too.
Well, I think you'll weed out a lot of people if people would just say pay the shipping. Free is free. You want to give back, but I think you'll weed out the ones that aren't serious. The t-shirt, no big deal. I don't give a shit what happened to it.
I would like to see more. Like I'm wanting to do more like with thermostats and husbandry. I think more giveaways need to be to that because, man, anybody can use an extra thermostat, number one.
Right. And you can open it up internationally.
Yeah, and not only that, now if somebody wins that, they're maybe wanting to get into ball pythons. They've got something to start out with that will really help them. Hey, here's the thermostat, maybe some heat tape or whatever. That gets them started. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Because you can get
that's a big deal about this stream. If somebody sees it and has questions about snakes and asses, if they can get their question answered in this chat, we've done something right. That's why we keep doing this.
So, on Instagram, I did a Instagram live, and there was a girl that popped in. I'm not going to name her name, but she was from Brazil, maybe, or I think she was from Brazil. Spoke English, typed English and everything. She's like, hey, I have a couple of questions. I have a ball python. I have a couple of questions. Nobody really knows much about them around here. Could I ask you? And I said, yeah, make sure you send me a message. And I'd get back to her after the thing. So she was talking to me through the whole live anyway, and people were talking back to her. After the thing, she's like, yeah, so there's just not a community down here for ball pythons. And I said, well, guess what? Now you got one. Add me. You can add all these guys that were talking to you and all these ladies that were talking to you, and you now have a community. and she is always on our lives, always talking to us, all that stuff. So that doesn't even matter. I mean,
Right.
you have to be in your country either to make a difference. And that's my favorite thing, is making a difference in somebody's life. Because I was nice to that person. Oh, okay. That brings up a very, very cool story I want to share with y'all, part of my life. There's a TV show called Scaly Adventures. That's a legit TV show. It's shown all around the world. I was a guest on it at one point, but it's ran by the Curran family of South Carolina. One of the hosts is a little boy. His name's Pierce. I mean, he was tiny. What happened was, at my reptile show one day, I had this little boy and his dad come walking in with a water bottle with a snake in it, and he wanted to know what kind of snake it was and some information on it. And so I was like, okay, cool. So I was real nice to him. We took the snake out. It was a northern red-bellied snake, very, very pretty little species. We talked about it. I made it this really cool, awesome thing for him and everything. And a few years later, they hit it big, and now they're on this massive TV show and everything. But I think back on it, how many lives were changed because I was nice to him.
Right.
I was nice to him that one time. I wasn't a jerk to him. Oh, you don't need to be touching these things. You don't know what you're doing. I was nice to him. That sparked his interest, that made him want to get better with snakes, learn more, that made his family decide they were going to support that with him, to a point where now they have a massive television show, all because I was nice to him that one day. So no matter what you're doing, make sure you guys are nice to your followers. And this, everybody that's on Instagram, help people out, because you never know what you're going to do to touch somebody's life.
Oh yeah.
No?
Well, that's where I watched Gomez Python's video today. They had bought a tortoise and it had died on them, and it was sad.
Oh.
They got a new one.
Is stinking cute.
They got a new one, and from a different breeder, and man, it was he didn't call out that other breeder that he had.
They ended up stiffing him. Stiffing him.
He didn't call him out. He didn't bash him on his live. He didn't, and he just left it, and that took a lot, because a lot of people would have slammed that guy.
Yeah.
That he had a bad experience with him. I think that's awesome.
Well, I don't know what happened, but he was going to make it right, and then all of a sudden he wasn't. So I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
But there have been a lot of people that would have just all instantly went.
Oh yeah, him holding.
They don't go to this guy, and I think that can hurt you sometimes too, though, because now you gotta, man, if something goes wrong, I'm in the spotlight. You know what I mean? I think it was really good of him to hold back on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's something that I very, very, very big stickler on. If you have beef with somebody else, go in a private message. You don't need to be on public comments, because you can be embarrassed. You can be attacked. There's no point for that. If there's something wrong, handle it in an adult manner. Don't put it out there. If you've received an animal and it's sick or any of that stuff, talk to the breeder beforehand. If the breeder is a jerk to you, then you can bring it out. But don't go immediately blast people publicly.
Because that guy you bought it off of might have 50,000 followers.
Yeah.
And they might all turn on you, and it could be bad. In a sense.
At the same time, it could be a misunderstanding or something like that, but the damage is done. You just destroyed somebody's reputation.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And it might, with FedEx and everything now too, I'm just saying, I'm not saying it was their fault, but I'm just saying, yeah, it needs to be dealt privately, because, everybody makes a mistake. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, that's just me. But
yeah, for sure. I think it's awesome. So what's one of your biggest projects you got going on right now?
Oh no! Show us some pretty snakes. What do you got? You want to show us something?
Well, that's fine too.
I can show you a couple. I'll show you a few. As far as projects go, I've got some really cool stuff that's coming towards the end of the year. Later season projects. I'll show you this one. So this is a girl that I produced this year. Probably my favorite female thus far. This is a red striped vanilla possible het clown.
Nice.
Yep.
Very nice.
Her name is Dot because she's got this little dot on the back of her head. I know I'm weird, but I do actually name all of them, even if, regardless of how many I have. But red stripe is pretty popular now because of the whole Pompeii from Justin Kobilka.
Yes.
Yep. And I have a red stripe het clown, which is her dad. So this is just a really unique female. You don't see many red stripe vanillas like this. And the fact that she's potentially het
That's
clown.
why I wanted to see some snakes.
Yeah. So very cool. Now the cool thing is I produced 2 of these out of that clutch, and the other one appears to have a new gene. So the dad to this girl is a red striped het clown that is carrying what appears to be a new gene. And the reason why I think that is because I've produced 2 clutches from him this year, and in both clutches, 2 different types of mothers, right? So I had one that was a vanilla Mojave, and then the other one was a citrus pastel. About half the babies came out looking the same, kind of crazy looking pattern. And I'll give you another example of what I'm talking about. So this girl's brother.
I'll be right back.
Yep. That girl's brother is what I originally thought was a vanilla Mojave. Turns out is probably not a vanilla Mojave because he looks absolutely nothing like his mother, who is a vanilla Mojave. I believe this is most likely a vanilla Mojave new gene. So really weird little alien heads, these keyholes and stuff. And one of the things that we're seeing on this gene is their necks are super flushed out, and they have these really weird looking alien heads. It's hard to show you on here. I have to show you a picture of the ones. But I think this actually has one of the new genes. And I have, let me show you this one. This is a pretty good indication of that new gene.
Welcome, Rob. Welcome.
All right. This is a pretty good indication of it. So this is actually a citrus pastel red stripe. Look how bright that is. Is that not gorgeous?
That is beautiful.
The camera's not even picking up just how bright this is. So this is a male. And the things that we're looking at in this new gene so far is these really crazy neck patterns right there. But these really neat, almost like keyhole alien heads. They're
just
really,
like Mojave's got the keyholes.
Yeah. It's very similar. It kind of looks like Mojave almost in a way. Even the single gene part of this gene, but there's definitely something going on. So I'm working on it with American Royals. That's the guy I got the original male from, and he's got a couple of females that are getting close to breeding size. So we're going to find out if there's a super form to this, which will be cool. But
you can see how bright that snake is. It's just, it is like Mason. It's glowing. It's bright, dude.
It is unreal. Like this pastels, even when they're little, they're bright, but this is unreal. There's nothing close to this. So, we definitely, I think we got something going on right now. The cool thing is I also know what it does to clown because he produced a couple of clowns with that new gene in it, and it's really weird looking. So I don't have any pictures of those. He's the one that owns it. So, but we'll see. Pretty cool. Yeah, look at that side pattern.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So that's something that's probably one of my most exciting little projects that I'm working on. Of course, that's going to be a couple of years from now. But yeah, that same patterning with those really neat alien heads has showed up twice in two different clutches, and it's been about half the baby's first gen. So, and he looks normal. He looks just like a normal red stripe, that clown. So it's neat to see how new genes kind of pop up every so often. She's coming with you. Hang on just a second. Let me show you something else here.
That's Betty Python says I'm back. I had to go make an Instagram post.
Oh, all right. There's that. Let's see what probably one.
Welcome, Jimmy from the Python Burrow. What's up, buddy?
All right. So this is probably one of the coolest females that'll be upcoming breeding this next season. This is Dory, named after Hurricane Dorian because I paid money for her right before that hurricane started to come towards us. It turned out to be no big deal. She's got to go to shed, but this girl is really cool. She's a lesser black pastel chocolate female.
Wow.
Kind of a unique. Isn't that weird looking?
Yeah.
It looks like
How washed out it all is and stuff. It's weird.
I know.
The dorsal stripe is so dark. That is wild.
I know, and all the blushing and stuff. She's just one of the most unique animals. And I found her on Morph Market last year. Tony Thomas from Hardwire Exotics had her for sale, and I was blown away. She was so cheap, and she had been on there for a couple of weeks. And I'm like, how has nobody bought this? Maybe they didn't see her, but boy, I snapped her up in a heartbeat. I mean, she's gotten better with age and everything, and she just hit the 1,000-gram wall. So we're gonna keep working on her. I just love the way she looks. She's so cool.
Tony's putting out some nice stuff. He has some really nice stuff available too, man.
Yes,
good
he does. Yeah. I mean, he produces really high quality stuff, and I don't have anything bad to say about the guy.
Thanks for coming in, man.
If y'all don't know who he is or ever go to Hardwire Exotics, I mean, go watch the video. He gives a backstory on how hard his life was and how he come up, and living out of cars and dumpsters and how he never gave up and got where he is today. It's a pretty cool story.
Yeah. And he's doing really well.
Yes.
So this girl is going to be breeding. And I'll show you this last one.
Bro. Welcome. Welcome to the live stream.
Yep, the Python Burrow. He's putting out some nice stuff too. Give me a shout out.
That female is going to be breeding my favorite little man. This is my pastel spot nose clown, Pennywise. And if you've ever seen my logo, you'll recognize him because this is the actual mascot for this company, for my business here. He's a pastel spot nose clown. I got him from American Royals, and I've had him since he was 82 grams. So he's a big old boy. Yeah, he's my pride and joy. No matter how many combos of those clowns I buy or I produce in the next few years, this guy's always going to be in my collection. He's one of the sweetest snakes I ever have, and he's one of my favorites. Everybody knows him.
I love you. That's a beautiful snake right there.
Yep.
So do you
go ahead?
Do you raise your own rodents, or do you feed frozen solid? What do you do?
Okay, so I actually produce my own, and honestly, best decision ever financially for my business because $200 or $300 a week on rodents.
Yes.
It's horrible. And the cool thing is in Florida, there's a lot of breeders around. Reptiles are a big deal here. I actually have a feed and seed store, like just a regular farm feed and seed store. Actually, a mom and pop place that carries rodent breeder food, Missouri, and the bedding. So I'm able to spend about, I would say, $45 every 2 months to take care of my rats, and that's it. That's cheap. That's real cheap. I don't have to pay for rodent food or any of that stuff. And I always have rats on hand, and I produce I produce a little bit more than what I typically use a month, and I have a couple of friends of mine that I support that way too. So,
Awesome.
but my gosh,
That's like my thing. I would love to find somebody around here that just has a small collection that would need some rodents, because it is so hard to keep the balance when you're small like me. I
know,
just have
yeah.
a couple colonies and stuff. So if I had somebody that like I probably couldn't produce all the time for them, but if I knew they were there, it could take a lot of the extra away. It would make it actually easier on me almost a little bit.
Yeah.
So I can only freeze so much, and and they keep growing no matter what.
Well, you ain't gonna have that problem. Your daughter won a ball python from TNT.
We are working on her, yeah.
So
She's
you're
found
gonna
all
have,
kind of other giveaways too. She's in.
yeah. So yeah, I see I see on Instagram. She's on it now on all the giveaways now. So
she did find one. It's ink balls or something like that. It's it's an ancient clown or something. And I was like, yeah, that one's probably good, because she was like, she's like, should I get spots in this one? And I was like, oh yeah, because I usually tell her no, quit getting in all this stuff. And I seen that one. I was like, well, yeah, a couple spots in that one would be okay.
yeah. It's not like a 50% het pied normal.
Yeah, exactly. It's an actual full visual itchy clown. It's nice. It's female and.
You're gonna have plenty of your extra rodents be going to her, I'm sure. So
Oh yeah.
So if you're producing some extra, it's really simple. Look at reptile feeder groups on Facebook. That's what I did.
Quit it now. Facebook's are the devil.
The Facebook, but you can.
I know. Yeah, I have a couple places I could probably get the word out, but it's just it's weird.
Or just do. I found a couple people have found me on Instagram that are local, because a lot of times I put my local area as one of my hashtags, and they've found me in their Explorer page, and they're like, "Hey, I was wondering if you guys could mentor me a little bit," and that's how I found a few people that way too.
Right on.
Did Justin mention that being a guest on the show, that our previous guests, they've always donated one of their nice ball pythons to us? Justin, like the pie, Trying to get that pie, Justin.
Well, okay, I will be more than happy to do that. I will donate a 25% possible het vanishing ball python.
Vanishing ball python.
Yes. It is completely translucent to a point that you can see it or physically touch it. Okay.
No feed, no nothing.
Or a super normal male, whichever one you want.
Yes. I'll get right on that.
It's a head clown pie.
Yeah, head clown pie.
I haven't even seen him. Did you hear? He broke his foot yesterday.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I don't know if he broke it yesterday, if he was like in the ER in the stream going, hey, I broke my foot.
I was going to ask him, what happened? Did you fall off the stool at the casino or what? But
I figure, he was trying to tackle some old lady for a machine or something, and she got the best of it. I better stop. He might be watching.
But I was telling them, I got a DM on Instagram a year or so ago, and this kid had DM'd like a whole bunch of people. And followed him, or he followed. He's like, "Hey man, I found this clown I really want to get, but I'm a little short. If you could donate $1 to $3, And he was trying.
Damn.
I thought, well, everybody donated $1. I'm thinking, but if you can't pay for it, you can't afford it. I thought, what a scam artist, dude! What a freaking scam!
There's people that do that all the time. I've seen it in the
there's people that donated to him. He got the son.
Yeah, there was one kid in Seattle or whatever. He's like trying to get through college. Please send dimes. The guy like $53,000 in dimes sent to him in the mail. It was like unreal. It was like he just said send dimes or something, and they sent them from all over the world. It was just insane. Different increments, but 10 cents. It's crazy.
But if you can't afford it, how are you going to pay if something goes wrong with it? You know what I mean? That's the thing.
Or feed it.
Right.
I mean, rats and mice, they're not free. You gotta buy them. Even if you breed them yourself, you still gotta pay for their food and their bedding.
Yeah.
Around here, mouse is $5, rats are $8-10.
Oh, I know. It's so.
You can get frozen ones for like 2 for $10 or something, but yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I know he was crazy. I couldn't believe that the post he was giving You know, I was like, yeah, he was on house arrest too at the time, and I think I think people were donating rats to him for a while, and
See, if I get a $3 donation, it will go on a clown eventually. Guarantee that.
I was thinking, and he had a couple giveaways going. He was going to give away a pair of clowns when he hit 100, and he found out how much they were worth, and then a $250 giveaway. He never did it at 250 subscribers, then a 500, and it was like, dude, you're just scamming people. When you got called out on it. He ain't seen him in a while, so I think that house arrest probably went to prison arrest.
Well, that dumb shit happens all the time on YouTube. Somebody will see somebody make a get some good views on a video and shit, and they could be a whole totally different niche. They'll go buy something, and look at me. It's like, you fool, you can tell you shouldn't even have that damn animal. It's like, get it out of your head. I hate that shit.
Oh my gosh.
Justin, I'm sorry about your clown, buddy.
I know it's sold. And that thing was cute though.
Do you have a Morph Market account?
Do I?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
I know.
They're but like I told you guys in the beginning, I haven't really. Yeah, I've got one animal up there right now. It's a female pastel 2020, just a pastel female who absolutely has this obsession about trying to eat people's fingers. So if you guys have fingers, you probably won't like this girl.
I gotta agree.
She is absolutely the biggest pistol ever. But yes, I do have a Morph Market account. It's just Eastern Florida Pythons. You can search me on there. Whether there's going to be stuff on there or not, I don't know. Because right now, the way it's working with my Instagram followers is the second I cut a clutch and they see what's in them, they're already sending me messages. Hey, can we get this? Can we put a deposit on it? And originally I was like, I'm not going to take deposits, but now I have to. I've got people on waiting lists for clutches for next year. I haven't even produced yet, so that's crazy. Yeah,
that's awesome, and that's just hard work, man. Getting yourself out there, dude. I mean, that's what it's all about,
Yeah, it's a blessing. Like I will always be humble about it. I never really expected this to happen, to myself to blow up the way it has and my business to blow up the way it has. But I am totally grateful, and I will forever be grateful for that. And I will never get too big for anybody. I'm from South Carolina, and we use little goofy expressions like getting too big for your britches. I will never get too big for my britches.
Yep, exactly. So is there anything, what are you looking for the future? Are you wanting to start your own facility, or are you just wanting to keep what you're doing now? Or, I mean, I know you're at home and you're retired, but are you wanting to really expand, or?
I would like to, I would like to, but not, and this is weird. So, like I told you, I retired. Well, I retired, and, my wife, she makes really good money, and, she's my sugar mama, like I say, and every time she's around, I just still tell people that, and she slaps the crap out of me. She hates it when I say it. So I try to tell everybody as much as possible, pushing my wife's button. But so I'm not so much.
If we see a hand come through, it's all good.
No, I am doing this for me, mostly. So the money is great, and I love to produce things and make money and everything. But at the end of the day, this is for me. I am producing animals to make animals for myself, the ones that I want to keep and I like. And the money that I make goes right back to my animals. It goes right back to my collection. It goes right back to me being able to buy more. So, in a way, I want to expand. I'd love to have 1,000 animals, 1,000 breeders, have big, massive amounts of babies every year, more awesome content from my YouTube channel and everything. But at the end of the day, and this is what I think every one of us that does this breeding, at the end of the day, we're doing it for us. We're doing it because we love these animals. And if you go into it wanting to get rich, hands down, you're going to be so disappointed. You're going to be so frustrated because it's so much work. And you guys know how much work it is. It's so much more work than you see on YouTube A lot of
Yeah,
people,
we talk about it a lot. It's the time factor that kills most people. They don't realize how long it takes to grow something up, get it to
oh
breathe,
my
you know, and all. They have
Well,
no
I mean,
clue the
just
time.
cleaning snake tubs, cleaning your rats. I mean,
I know.
time consuming, dude.
Yeah, and the little things like the poop smeared all over the snake's face because he crawled through it, and you have to clean him up. It's like nobody ever said ball pythons were the intelligent snake
Oh, yeah.
species.
You open a tub and go, how did you even do this? You know?
I say it on my channel
Yeah,
weekly. They have the nastiest shit ever. They are.
Oh
just
God, I know
nasty.
it's terrible.
God.
Oh, it's terrible. But yeah, I mean, if it wasn't because we love doing what we do, we wouldn't do it. And yes, I want to get big. I would love to, but I want to get big so I can continue to get stuff that I want, and enjoy them myself. And to be honest, I love being able to share them with other people. I want what these animals have done for me in my life. They literally saved me from probable suicide, PTSD, garbage stuff that I've dealt with, losing some of my best friends, all this stuff. They legitimately saved my life, and they bring me so much happiness. I want other people to feel what I do. I want other people to have what I have. I'm not greedy. I don't. No, you can't have my happiness. No, I want you to be as happy as I am, because if you're as happy as I am, then you're a better citizen in this country, in this world. You're a happier person. Oh, yeah. Nobody else is angry. So that's my big thing. I do it because of these animals, and I love them.
Well, that's it. All my YouTube, all my cleaning, all my animals is all right out here. The whole world could watch me do it every day. So and they're guiding me through it as well.
Yeah.
That is so true, Jimmy.
How about poop smeared? Yes. Ooh. Little bit. Do it. Yes. That's funny.
And that was funny too. Like when all this virus first came out, that was the biggest thing in all the Instagram was. It's like, no man, I clean rat shit, snake poop. I ain't scared of no virus.
No.
That was the big thing, in the beginning.
Yep.
So, I mean,
I clean rat tubs. I don't care about no virus.
Being in Florida, are you worried about any of the laws that's been passing, and do you think it'll ever get to the point with ball pythons there? I mean, it's crazy. I know they got an open book and everything.
Yeah. So, I honestly, I'm concerned. I will probably always be concerned because if people aren't really fighting and getting behind, like USAR, all those people that are fighting the legislations, these lawmakers that really don't have a clue what's going on, they don't know anything about this industry. They're going to see, oh, it's a python. Pythons in South Florida are bad. Ban them. Whether they care about what species it is. I mean, ball pythons, 5 feet would be a max one. They're not going to cause any problems. I mean, in all honesty, they might even do pretty good out in Florida because we have so many stinking rats anyway, and I take care of them. But, I am always concerned about that. And if we don't fight that kind of legislation, that's where we could definitely be. They just banned tegus and iguanas. And my problem with that ban is, guess what? You're punishing people that had no responsibility for why there are wild tegus and iguanas, and same with the pythons. You are punishing law-abiding citizens that own these animals for something that was not their fault. And the media loves to spread that big, massive rumor that it's because people release these pets that we have such a python issue in South Florida. No. It was the hurricanes that completely destroyed those.
We were talking about that just the other night. Yeah, huge facilities got taken out.
Yeah, they had like 200 pairs of Burmese pythons that were able to get loose. Of course they're going to breed, but yet the only way that they see that it's going to fix the problem is to take them away from people that have them.
But the problem is then they euthanize them.
Yeah.
Or people are just going to let them go. They're going to let them go anyway and say, "Oh, I don't want them euthanized. I'm just going to let it go."
But I mean, that ain't, to me, you're going to ban something, but you're when you ban it, you're going to euthanize it. So how's
This
that?
is the part that
You're
pisses
trying
me
to
off
fight
the most.
for animals. I want to, don't want you to have animals, but if you get one, I'm going to kill it instead of send it back to where they originated from, because they've been over farmed so bad there ain't many left. You know what I'm saying? In the wild.
It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Like the logic behind that just irks me. And I'll be honest, it's probably because of the media. They're looking for a reason, that something to blame that's better than an act of God like a hurricane. They're looking for the people that own these animals, and that is their scapegoat. So that's who they go after. And these lawmakers that don't really give a crap one way or the other about anybody, they see, oh well, this we just got to get rid of it. Nobody likes these. We got to get rid of it. That's a problem.
Uneducated.
I mean, that at the end of the day, it's really Florida Wildlife and Commission, and they're not voted into them spots. That's just their job. So, they can do what they want, which is weird. They can make any law because they're above everybody else.
Yep.
And so it's really about education. That's the bad thing, because it's not your representative you can vote out of there. That's their job, dude. And that's the bad thing about it is you can't say get out of that position. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it just did the ban in Alabama. On big constrictors and everything. They're trying to fight to get them back. I mean, retics and berms and rock pythons. And I watched the deal last year when they banned the yellow anaconda, and there was people, dude, that had 30-something gravid yellow anaconda. They get no bigger than a boa constrictor. The green anaconda gets big.
Yeah.
So you're going to ban the yellow anaconda, but you're not going to ban a boa. Same species in the same family. You know what I mean? It's not, and they're only going to survive in South Florida. Let's get real. They're not going to survive in North Florida, because in Alabama they can't. 55 degrees or below, they're dead. They die. I mean, this is where they have to understand that they don't have a problem in Jacksonville, Florida, with Burmese pythons. They have it down in South Florida.
Yep, they're not going to get much farther north. Now, only invasive that I would be a little bit concerned with, that might be able to get a foothold in, would be the tegu. Not because they're dangerous, but because of the areas that they're actually from. They're actually fairly cold tolerant, so I think they could probably move. And there's already, there is supposedly an established population in Georgia. Whether that's 100% accurate or not, you never know.
Yeah, I just seen something on my Facebook or something about some deal about the tegu, and I think it was South Carolina or something.
Yeah, they found one. They found.
Is that where it was?
Yeah.
Thanks, madam. Welcome to the show. Thank you.
So that
thing, they'll plaster that one everywhere, and people will think they're all over the freaking place.
TJ, welcome.
Yeah, and they'll make these stupid, like, massive killer lizard found here, just like the murder hornets.
Where are them? Where are they?
There's been like 3 that have been found. 3 hornets themselves. And it was actually like 2 of them were found like 2 years ago, and that just popped up in the story.
Right.
They found one recently, but all they want is views. That's it. They make those kind of statements. People share that stuff on social media. The media is just not the same as it used to be. Used to be the only news you got was on the news channel, and that was it. Now people can share false stuff all over the place. Everybody's
yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. You need to pay attention to that website and go to your meetings. Yeah, they only give you 3 minutes to talk, but hit them valid points. And when they say in them laws that it won't affect any Floridans or Alabamians, you go, hey, I'm going to lose $250,000 because you're banning this animal. Mm-hmm. I've spent $50,000 on my collection. Yes, it does affect people, and that's what they got to understand is just because you don't think it does, it does. They need education, and it's a group. You've seen the video, I'm sure, Solomon, where they went into the expo and filmed the ball pythons, and they went over to the other country and showed them, and this is how Americans keep ball pythons in these little cages.
Yeah, ball python.
That is the group. That is the group that is getting donations to ban these animals. That is who got them the law established in Alabama. That's the group. It's not PETA. It's not your regular people. That is the group going around to try to ban this stuff.
That was
uneducational.
Informed movie, the video I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
Oh my God, it was awful.
It's like, no, this is an expo. This isn't how we keep our animals,
So
it just
Daytona show. There was a vendor there. Their entire table was tegus, and there was a sign on there that said "No Florida sales." That just probably destroyed that person's business. Now you can sell them. As far as I know, you can be grandfathered in as a breeder, or if you have one, you can get grandfathered in, but you have to get a permit, which is not easy to get. And if you get declined, then they have to euthanize it. But you can't sell them here to other people without a permit. Actually, I don't think you can sell them to people that are permitted. If you got a permit, you can own which ones you got now, but you can't get any more. So I think they can ship them out of state, but that's it. Like, they just ruined people's business. I feel so bad for them.
Yeah, because I think they did a poll, and I can't remember the exact numbers of how many people in Florida own a reptile, and it was big because I know Alabama is like 1 in 10 or 1 in 20, out of the whole state own a reptile. So but the thing is, when you ban these animals, little Johnny down the street didn't know you put a ban on these animals. So if somebody sees him outside playing with it, man, he's a criminal pretty much. I mean, in a sense. But then they're going to come and take it away from him and kill it. And what's that do to this kid that's in this hobby that says, well, screw you guys? It puts
that could have been his best friend. That was his best friend in the entire world. Yeah, I know.
Or do a deal. Yeah, get them microchipped or make people buy a permit for $10 or whatever a year. And every year, you like a dog tag, you got to go get a permit for your dog in some states or whatever, for your city you live in. So they go, hey, I still got my tegu. I didn't turn him loose or whatever. You sell it.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah. So I'll tell you right now, I'm in a lot of reptile groups on Facebook. I'm not a big into them or anything. I don't post anything, but every once in a while you'll see a cool deal pop up, an animal or something that you're like, I'll message him and see. But when that ban happened, there was people just freaking out. Like, oh my God, what do I do? What website do I go to get this? And you should have seen how many comments were like, oh, unfortunately, my iguanas and my tegu, they were lost in a boating accident. So I no longer have them, or they died. They're like, people aren't even going to get them permitted. They're like, no, I'm just going to keep quiet. I mean, as long as you keep quiet, they can't find out. But if you get found out about, they forcefully take your animal, they kill it, and then you get fined or charged. It's despicable that we've had to get to this point.
It's to the point where you're either going to go underground, or they are going to let them loose because they don't want them killed. So they're going to, that's the option, or move out of the state. But that's your option they're giving these people. Hey, I'm either going to go underground and you ain't going to hear from me, or if before you take my animal to kill it, I'm going to let it loose. So then you just stirred whole nother problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
you're right. People will turn them loose now because they know they can live in the wild here.
Yes. Yeah. And now you got a season, you can hunt them, right? I mean, people hunt iguanas now and eat them, right?
Yeah, there's no season for them. Yeah, they're invasive, so it's open. You take them however you can get them. They supposedly taste very similar to chicken.
Yeah, I was like, it just don't seem right to me, though,
No.
It just don't, I don't know. I love lizards and animals, and I don't know, shooting a deer is one thing, I guess, to me or whatever, but you know, I couldn't just, you know, when they got cold and all the iguanas were falling and people were scooping them up. I mean, I couldn't just go do that, dude, because I got too big heart, dude.
I think there's a bunch of posts that just pop out of nowhere all of a sudden. Barbecue, you know, iguana everywhere. It's like, what the hell?
I couldn't do it.
I couldn't either. I love reptiles too much. I'm a meat eater. I love me some meat, but I just, you know, reptiles get a bad rap and they get persecuted so much, and I'm just like all about it. So yeah, just frustrating.
I see Bennett Wonderful joined the chat. He just got him a coral snake not long ago, and he loves it, dude. I know you said you had a coral snake, and
yeah, I had a huge female. Very, very neat girl. She was neat. She would take frozen thawed snakes, roadkill. Like when I'd go out herping that night and find like brown snakes and stuff that had been hit by cars. Bring them back, clean them up. She'd eat those, no problem. No problem.
He just he got to film his eating. I think it was the brown snake, wasn't it, Justin?
Yeah.
And you know, and he goes, it's really weird because, you know, it's hard to catch them, to eat them, especially during daytime, you know. And he got it on film. It was really pretty cool how it happened. You know, I mean, it was awesome.
That was his 50,000 subscriber or 50,000 subscriber video.
Yeah, his 50,000 subscriber video or whatever special video. It was pretty cool though. But he's learning. He's just now getting that hook trained where, you know, trying to get it out. They're so fast and didn't want to be on the hook. You know, where he's getting it real gently and picking it up, and it's cool though. You know. Yeah.
It's a lot of people think that snakes are brainless. You know, they're only instinct driven. They have no personality. They don't have feelings or anything. But I beg to differ. I mean, I think they all have their own personality, and I think they can be to an extent trained. And you know, Brian Barczyk, whether you like it or not, we're not getting into that. He has done a lot, some training on some of these animals, like ball training. And he's working on his retic, and it seems to be working. Yeah. Because there for a while, you know, he'd open up a thing and the retic came right out of his face because it was always expecting food, and now, you know, he can open that thing up and pull it out without getting bit unless he brings that ball up. It's like I don't know. I think that they really do have the ability to learn, and I think they recognize people too.
And I see that I seen that happening before Brian started Kentucky Reptile Zoo or whatever. They were doing it with like kimono dragons. You know, they had a door at each end of the cage, and they would open it up, and they were ball training it. They've been doing it for a while, so it is working.
Well, and, but I think regardless of ball or whatever it is, you spend that much time with the animal, regardless if you have a ball in your hand, you're going to get it to be seamless.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
It's just the fact that they're spending more time with it, trying to train it with a ball. So I mean, it is working. It does help, but I think if you could put the same amount of time in just holding the animal, regardless of the deal, and you're going to get the same reaction.
Well, I mean, I've been messing with my retics since day one, dude. You know, and I've had them a little over a year. And when it's food time, I mean, they come out the cage. I mean, and they know. I mean, but you know, usually they. Like the one
they're going to know for sure. They know exactly.
Yeah, but I mean that ball training stopping that word, you know, which I need to do with my male because he is bit and he has killed the hook twice. He's strangled it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, hey, dude, this isn't the rat. Come on, get off and let me give you the rat. You know, but
probably one of the coolest videos that I've ever seen when it comes to reptiles. It's going to be kind of a weird one. It's a YouTube channel called Joseph Carter the Meat Man. You might have seen a few of his videos that have gone viral where he hunts rats with dogs and meat.
I was subscribing. In fact, I don't even know if he has a channel no more. Didn't he remove it?
He still has it. It's still there. And he's been posting. But he recently got an Argus monitor, and he's training it. He's working on it to see if he can do the same thing with the monitor that he does with his mates. train him to go down the hole, grab the rat, bring it back, and it's working.
Wow.
His monitor lizard's name is Raptor. It comes when he calls it now, or it's starting to, like he can make a noise and it'll come running to him. It's fascinating to see just how actually intelligent they really are. I mean, monitor lizards are on a whole nother level anyway.
Oh, they are. Yeah, they look at you like you're the dumb one. It's like all the time.
My Nile was
they're like to the reptile world. They're like, "Wow, you threw it, you go get it."
Yeah.
That sort of thing. But don't even
They
get
definitely do what they want. That's for sure.
That's cool. I didn't know he had one of them. I mean, I had a Nile, and I had it just to where it was a couple years old, just puppy dog tame, dude. I mean, and that's hard for a Nile because they're so big. But I mean, dude, I worked with them, and I told people sitting beside the cage, just getting that animal to know it, get used to you, putting food in there. Don't grab it out of its safe spot. It takes time, but because everybody wants to grab it, and that scares them. And don't wear gloves. It's going to bite you when it's little, but when you got gloves, it's no good. I just say take the bite because eventually it'll quit,
Yeah.
You ain't taking no bite from Irondogg and just letting it go, though.
Well, if I would have started when he was a baby, he wouldn't be to that point.
Well, I know. But when he was a baby, he was at a pet store getting freaked out every day.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly.
So that sucker, he'll take half your thumb off. He don't care. He's mean.
But I think, too, the biggest problem with monitors is people put them in too big of an enclosure too fast.
Yeah.
They have
the hard part about
they need that safety.
And
it's hard to keep them in smaller enclosures, though, and not come at them at weird ways, depending on their enclosures.
Right. Well, you got to have that front opening door, you know what I mean?
That's the key. The front opening door is very big, I think. Yeah.
It's same with the snake when they go, well, why got a baby ball python in the aquarium? Well, dude, when you see a big hand coming down on you, man, that's why it's freaking out, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's why I keep everything in racks, like we can get into that debate too, and that's another one of those controversial topics. Oh, well, you're keeping ball pythons in racks. That's not fair to them. Well, wait a minute. They spend about 90% of their entire lives down in burrows.
In a hole in the ground, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've got an aquarium back here with a black rat snake. He's always out. He's inquisitive. He's looking around. That's not what ball pythons do.
Are your ball pythons in clear tubs or dark tubs?
I have all of mine in the black and the grayed out freedom breeder tubs, and I think they do better that way.
I've had people look at me just like, you have your snakes in a dresser? It's like, well, it's not a dresser, but it's like.
But I mean, I have clear tubs, and I don't know, I've had them in since day one, and they seem to just in that front of that window like to look out. You know what I mean? I mean, they like that. I mean, but they still thrive good. I mean, I think a lot of times they know. Especially my region.
Marino, welcome to the chat, man. Welcome to the chat.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing out there that says you have to do dark. Honestly, I prefer the dark ones just because I like the way they look. They contrast really well with my racks.
Well, I mean, I've heard both sides of the story. I think I've heard they do better the dark ones, and of course, most hatchling tubs are clear, but I mean, But I've seen people actually get rid of their dark ones to go back to a clear front because they wanted to give them some enrichment, I guess. I don't know. I haven't made that switch. I've got PVC racks that are clear tubs, so I don't have the dark ones, number one. But you know what I'm saying? I mean,
I don't give them. Okay, so my animals don't have any enrichment. They don't have any foliage or anything inside their tubs. I don't think that's necessary because inside the burrows, it's the same thing. There's not going to be any foliage, most likely. Plus, this is a safer environment for them anyway. They like to be by themselves unless it's breeding. I mean, they tend, if you put them together and they're not breeding, a lot of times they still lay on each other. So you have to think that in the wild, they probably do collect in some certain burrows where there'll be a number of them. Kind of like rattlesnakes when they're hibernating. or brumating. They have big, massive dens. I would imagine that happens, but for the most part, they don't. They prefer to be by themselves, right? Well, if you want to give your animal enrichment, I get all of my animals out just about every day. I will pick them up, look them over, let them kind of crawl around on me for a few minutes, and then I put them back, and that's enough.
Do you keep hides in any of them? Do any of yours have hides?
No, not in my tub, because they're the dark black ones.
I mean, I've got a couple that just gotta have them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other than that, most of them.
I think it's more for them to have something to hang on to and press up against.
Well,
than it
if I have a picky eater, I've noticed if I put a hide in there,
yeah,
he does better because a lot of times she'll take it out of, she'll come out of the hide, get it, and bring it back in her hide.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll shut the lights off if I have to too. I mean, still the same thing. But I mean, I don't have to. Most of mine just, as soon as they're in there, they're done. You know what I mean? But
yeah. Well, let's be honest here. Ball pythons are the divas of the reptile world when it comes to feeding. It could a drop of rain 6 states away could fall, and they're like, "Oh my God, I can't eat. Oh my God." 5 months feeding strike. I have one female right now. It's a girl that should be laying eggs September 11th, which will be my first chance for clowns ever. I'm excited. She will not eat if she's on any sort of substrate other than paper.
I keep all mine on paper towels.
I use Reptisorb liners because they're pre-cut for my breeding beater tubs, and mostly I do too because Florida's humidity is ridiculous.
Exactly, Oklahoma too. So,
but she won't eat on anything but paper. At the same time, I have a pied het clown male that will not eat on paper, will only eat on bedding. Why? So
yeah, that's what I like about retics. They don't care what they're on or what they do; they're going to eat.
Yeah.
But I mean, then you got people. I've heard people say that I've never had a problem with the ball python. They all eat. You just got there's always going to be that one that's going to give you problems. Now, do you feed rats or ASFs?
I only feed rats. I have some feelings on that. As far as on ASFs, personally, I'm not going to change. I'm not going to do it. I'm not getting African soft furs at all. Not that there's anything wrong with them. There's not enough studies out there really to tell whether or not the nutritional value is different, even though that's what they're eating in the wild. So
Oh no, there's huge studies about the nutritional value being way better.
I've seen.
Well, yeah, but I don't. We've been my snakes have been healthy our entire lives on rats, and AFS. Wow, sorry, AFS. African soft furred rat. There we go. Oh man, I just have a hard time saying that. Places are hard to get. In Florida, they're easy as crap to get. Everybody and their brother. But some places they're really hard to get and they're expensive. If you can even get them at all. And if you are only feeding your animals ASFs, that doesn't mean that that's all they'll ever eat. Sometimes they'll switch fine, and then there's some that won't. There's some that will only eat mice, and you can't get them to get on rats, no matter how hard you try. I
mean, as if you were keeping this, to me, I'm only feeding a picky eater or one I know I'm not ever going to sell.
Right. Yeah.
My hatchlings would not get ASFs that I'm selling.
Exactly. But there's a few breeders out there that is all that they're doing. And I feel like if you're going to do that, you potentially could be not alienating yourself, but you're limiting yourself on people that might be willing to buy from you. Only because, now, like I said, that doesn't mean that that's all they're going to eat. They vary, especially young ones, if you start them on ASFs, they probably will have no problem switching over at all. But then there's some that might, And I will tell you that on like Morph Market and stuff, if I see an animal or at a show that says ASF breeders, because people or eaters, and people will mark that and actually say that because they know that's an important reason. Otherwise, they wouldn't write that. It's turned me away from that. I won't.
I've seen it. I know a guy that got a yellow belly male that was breeder size, and it will not eat nothing but ASS. I mean, they've tried. It will not even eat a pre-killed ASF. It has to be a live ASF, and which is really weird. But I also know people that feed ASF to their hatchlings, but do it every other feeding. They do a rat, they do an ASF, they do a rat, they do an ASF, and they keep it on that to sell, which I think is good because it will eat both.
Right, and that's smart. But my thought is, well, if it's already eating rats or it's already eating ASFs, why don't you just do one or the other? Instead of you're making like if I only keep rats, then that's all I have to work with. If I have to keep rats, and
I see a lot more people raising ASFs and doing away with the rats nowadays than they used to be. So I think
the biggest thing for me on that situation, for one, is smell and size. Because an ASF will never grow too big for a ball python to eat it. I don't want to have to own a big snake to get rid of rats the size of this. I can't do it.
We already have to euthanize the bunch.
And I think there's too many places that sell them frozen thawed to have the excuse of not being able to get them.
Yeah. Well,
there's tons of places you can order.
Until everybody does it,
right?
It's going to be a hard change.
Right, and it is because there's states that you can't do it in. You can't have ASFs in.
California, you can't. You can't have a lot of things in California. You can't have. They're banned.
That's weird.
So I mean, you're taking an entire state basically out of possibly selling to.
Right.
And that's just my opinion. And
that's only what we really know about. I bet there's a whole lot of African stopper rats in California. They're just not advertised.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
it's one of those things,
Some people are like, I won't even buy them if they are ASF eaters. But again, that is a controversial topic, and that is a matter of opinion. I mean, you're feeding a smaller animal for the same nutritional value as a larger rat, but rats have been being fed to ball pythons since the very beginning, and they're just as healthy.
Well, the first beginning, it was an ASF rat, though.
Oh yeah, it had to be because they were.
That's their native food. Yeah. If you have a picky ball python, you pull out an African stopper rat, it's gonna eat.
Yeah.
It's all everybody's opinion. I just didn't know if you did it all because I've seen a study where a guy fed nothing but ASFs, and he had a female up to over 1,500 in a little over a year.
Right.
Not saying you can't do that with a rat because you have them certain snakes that will just get big. I mean, will just go huge fast. A guy had a retic pass away. He had it for 14 months. It was 14 foot, dude. He fed it. He didn't overfeed it. He did not power feed it. It died on him. He took it in and had a narcropsy done on it. It was not fat. It just had some kind of, I think it was just, like people that get 8 foot tall. It just had some kind of growth deal. It got so big, and it wasn't fat. And he had the snake skin from it. He said, he goes, and he does nothing but retic. He goes, I've never had one get that big like that, ever. So you get them freak animals like that. That.
Oh, yeah, you're always going to get the weird ones.
But and that's where I tell people with mice, dude, get them off mice because you can see them.
You got to remember, even if a snake eats mice, you could have a pet snake and it could eat mice its whole life and be healthy and live fine.
Oh yeah,
it's only in a breeder standpoint when you say we got to get it off the mice. We got to remember that there can be somebody out here with just one snake.
Right.
Well, you have to remember that. Get them off the mice thing, especially a male. A male can live its whole life breeding, living off mice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're what,
so it,
I see people going, hey, I got a 4-year-old ball python and it's not up to size yet. I'm feeding it a mouse every 2 weeks. Well, that's your problem.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm getting at. I mean, for a breeder standpoint, yeah, we know what we need to do. But then you could go on another case and say, okay, I'm Sean Bradley, and I can prove I can feed my snake every day, and it'll even eat while it's locking up because he feeds it small meals, and he's got them to where they eat 3, 4, 5 times a week.
Yeah. It's all
instead
habit.
of
A lot of
one
it's
big
all
meal.
habit.
And at the end of the day, it's your animal.
Right.
You know? As long as you're not trying to feed it a vegetable-based diet and turn it vegan, do what you want. You do what you want with your animal. It is.
Have you ever seen anybody feed them ball pythons chicken? The chicken leg? That's a miracle.
Yes.
It cracks me
Yes.
up. It's unreal.
Or people that try to turn their cats vegan. Have you heard that before?
Oh, that's the dumbest shit ever.
Yeah, I know.
God.
So anyway, as long as your animal is eating and it's healthy, you do what you want to do.
Right.
We have our own ways. Personally, I'm not going to feed mine ASFs unless I'm having an issue with a female or an animal that just won't eat it. I imported one time, a gravid female, wild caught, years ago, and she didn't even want ASFs. You know what she ate? She ate a chick, live chicken. That's it. That's all she wanted.
Yep.
And
they'll get stuck on just about anything weird.
Yeah, it's just. But unless I'm having that kind of issue, rats are easier for me to deal with right now. I mean, they're not easier to deal with. I mean, ASFs in the long run you probably have to clean them a whole lot less because they're smaller. Their bedding lasts longer. They don't smell nearly as bad.
Much. Yeah, nothing.
But at the same time, I'm kind of set in my ways. I've always liked rats.
Oh yeah. Like I said, when I got into it, my biggest fear was I didn't know what I was going to do with the big rats. The breeders and the ones that got really big. I didn't want to get overrun with crazy rats, and it was the ASF seemed manageable.
If you go back and watch the first hour and a half, 2 hours of this live stream, most of the questions you're asking, we've already asked. He's had venomous. He's run a zoo. He's done a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be rude to you.
I seen the venomous question. I didn't know who he was talking to.
But I know. I mean, he's asking a lot of questions that we went over. He come in late tonight, and I just wanted to know that we've kind of discussed a lot of that already. And because usually he's in there pretty early with us. That's what I'm doing. So
yeah.
So egg on the screen.
Yeah, I've gotten.
By the way, there we go.
Yep. Here's the old logo. Yeah, I've done a lot of venomous stuff. Love it. So I mean, we're all set in our ways. We have our own nuances. We have our own beliefs, and live and let live. Everybody can do whatever they want to.
And that's exactly right. I mean, it's the rack aquarium. It's if you have an aquarium and you're a hobbyist or whatever, and your animal's thriving, if you need help with humidity, I'll help you. I'll do anything you need. But I'm not going to say you have to get it. You have to put a tub or a rack. I will never tell you that.
I had somebody come into my Instagram because they seen the live, and they're all like, "Hey, I'm getting one snake, and I got a bunch of people telling me I should put it in a tub." And I was like, "Well, do you want to look at your snake? Or are you only going to have one snake?" She's like, "Yeah, probably only one." I was like, "Then put it in an aquarium. Put it in something you can look at and enjoy. Have fun with it,
But
I mean, if you want to put it in a tub and you're limited on space, do it. But if you want to put it in a tank, do it. Who cares?
I've told people too, they've had an aquarium, and I tried to help them with the humidity, and I told them, I keep mine in tubs, and I told them this, and like Elijah switched to a tub, and she said, "Wow, how much easier," And I didn't say you had to.
If you're going to have multiple snakes, it's always
you had to. But if you want to, because hey, they're big enclosure I got next to me for a retic. That's what they put them in. But I mean, if you want to buy a 2 foot by 4 foot enclosure and put your ball python and display it, that's awesome, dude. But it's going to be a lot easier to keep humidity in that than it is an aquarium. Yeah. But if you need help, I'll help you. Help you with the humidity, bigger water bowls, cover the screen, whatever you need, But I'll never tell you you're wrong,
Yeah, one of those groups, I had all the snakes. I think I just got one of the racks or something, and I put a bunch of the snakes in the little sterilite tubs, Had a big stack of them up. Just took a picture of it, joking around, and put it in one of those groups. I was like, just got my snake rack done. I was deleted in less than a minute. Less than a minute.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If somebody, that's
They don't play. They do not mess around, man.
This cancel culture pisses me off. I am sick of this cancel culture. If somebody doesn't like what you do, whether it's legal or not, if somebody doesn't like what you do, they will do everything they can to destroy it just because they don't like what you do. And that is a problem. That is a huge problem. And the fact that we're allowing it to happen is causing some major issues. This whole debate, I've had people on my Instagram jump all up and down my throat, tell me I'm a horrible person because I have snakes in tubs.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And at the same time, the exact people are allowing...
Or not big enough enclosure for your retic because it's bigger.
Yeah, exactly. Or those same people are the ones that go to the local bank here and put out cat food to feed all the poor defenseless cats that are the feral cats out here.
Yeah, or they're bitching at you and they're in another room bitching about their snake because it won't shed right or something, you know?
Right,
it's like,
yeah.
you know, they're the same assholes that are saying this and that. It's like,
That's
why I would say they're the devil.
Morano Morse, if you're looking for a venomous, hit up KY Constrictors. He's selling copperheads at Walmart parking lot if you need
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Rob, I told that story earlier today in the live stream. It was funny as hell.
Yeah, that was fun. No, but
oh yeah, tubs and tanks, all that. That is the hugest, probably the biggest, probably discrepancy in Facebook groups as far as reptiles go, is the tank and the tub. You know, that's like the classic.
Or
you can get kicked out of a group in a minute if you say the wrong word. You know.
The other one that I see a lot is live versus frozen thawed.
Oh
you
yeah,
can't
oh yeah.
Feed your animals live. That's neglectful. But what the heck do they eat in the wild?
Mm-hmm. It is funny. It shuts them up too sometimes if you tell them you breed them yourself. It's like, I breed these animals to feed to that snake. Yep. And then they're all like, well, I guess that's a little different. And it's like, whatever, you know, it's like,
this one's name
that's
is
a
Monday.
weird thing, yeah.
This one's name is Tuesday.
Now, you feed live, right?
I do. I do feed some protocol too, but yeah.
Do you, when I feed live, I start and go down, and as soon as they hit it, I open the tub and look. A lot of people don't do that, and they never check them out.
Right.
Dude, I don't know how many times I've saved my snake from getting gnawed on because
I think that's the biggest fault of the live feeding is the lack of watching and over.
Yeah, because I need to watch to make sure they didn't get it and it's gnawing on its neck or biting them, because a rat, man, is a vicious animal, dude.
They carry a lot of bacteria in their mouths too.
Yes.
And I'm not going to lie, those superficial infections that snakes can get, those infections are hard to get rid of.
Yes.
Even with antibiotics, snakes, for whatever reason, they struggle with that. The way that I feed mine is I open the tub, drop the rat in, close it, and then I wait.
Yes.
I don't. Within 15 minutes, if 15 to 20 minutes they have not taken that rat, I don't hear that rat screaming bloody murder, I take the rat out. But if I hear them scream because the snake took it, I immediately open and make sure that they don't have a mouth around their neck. If I see that, I thump the snot out of that rat as hard as I can, and then I try to pry his mouth open. And then once that's happened, I write down and say, look, I got to keep an eye on that. And I'll put betadine on it and everything afterwards.
Yeah.
But
Marino did good on his video the other day when he was doing some feeding. He had a couple that looked like they were going for it. He used his little tongs, just kind of avoided the mouth for a second.
That's what I do.
Thing, and then just go about your business, which was really good, you know.
Yep. You see those, and you know what? People do this all the time. They post those pictures of their live rat or mouse sitting in the coils of their snake. That the snake's not wanting anything to do with it. They're like, "Oh, look, they're cuddling."
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how stupid you look when you post pictures like that? And then I'm like, if they left that there for a little while. I'd like to see the picture. I don't want to see the pictures, but you'll see anything.
It cringes me. I've seen people's YouTubes that are like, I throw the rats in and I go back the next day to see. And it's like the next day, what the?
A guy showed up at his house and said, hey, look at this snake. do you think you can be saved? And Rob sent me the picture. And what had happened, same thing. It wasn't the guy's snake, it was his friend. Let the rat in. Oh, well, I figured I'd leave it in all night because they were just there. And it gnawed damn near to the bone. Rob said, you need to euthanize this now.
Yeah.
Put it out
and they won't fight back. They'll twitch. They won't bite on you, and you'll sit there and be eaten alive.
And the bad thing is, then the guy goes, hey, my buddy wants to buy a snake off you. He goes, you can tell him to go get screwed. I'll never sell him a snake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've seen people do that. Or, they say, oh, yeah, I throw them in there, and I go back the next day and check. Like, the next day, are you freaking crazy?
Stupid?
I looked at the picture and I felt bad. I thought, man, there's no reason.
You can have your feelings about live or not live, but if you're doing it wrong either way, you're still a dumbass. You know what I mean? In my book.
And
it doesn't matter if you're frozen or live. If you're a dumbass, you're a dumbass,
Yep. If you're not paying attention, if you're not watching, you're neglecting your animal. Straight up.
And people say, oh, it don't matter. That's nature. No, it's not nature. You need to care. If you care for the most for your snakes, you will make sure that rat is not hurting that snake.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I mean, because they can miss. I mean, they're not always.
Yeah, you got to have the ninja tongs or a hook or something just to avoid that mouth or just get it out of the way. Or
when you're feeding large and extra large and double extra large jumbos, I keep pliers.
Yeah.
I will break their teeth completely off their mouth.
I don't have the big rats. Yeah, I don't have the big ones, but yeah.
Because I had a boa, a 9-foot boa hit that rat on the ass. And it was a double extra large jumbo. But she was so big and powerful, she strangled it instantly, But I've seen them where I've had to come in and break their teeth, dude. Because they're mean. They are vicious.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You can't even blame them. They're getting constricted to death. They're just doing what they're trying.
Yeah,
to
it's
do.
nature. It's nature. You're right. It's right.
It's crazy. It's a weird game that we play.
There's not one single animal in the entire animal kingdom that is more built for survival, other than maybe a cockroach, than a rat or than a rodent. I mean, they have indeterminate growth on their teeth. Their teeth will continually grow their entire lives. Just like snakes will grow their entire lives. But they can literally eat anything and survive. So I did wildlife removal for 5 years. And one of my biggest things was unfortunately, I'm not bragging, but I've killed hundreds and hundreds of thousands of wild rats at people's houses before, and they will literally eat cardboard, they'll eat leather, they'll eat whatever they can. I've seen them chew through things like metal. I've seen them chew through concrete with no problems at all. I've seen them chew through bricks. Those teeth are so strong. They will. They have no problem. They eat each other. They will eat each other. I've killed rats in traps and come back and there's just a head stuck in the trap. That's all that's left because they just ate everything. So you tell me that animal is not going to destroy your animal, your snake? Yeah.
It won't chew through Flex Seal.
Do what?
Well, what the hell?
It won't go through Flex Seal.
No, but I don't think they like it. I don't think they like the taste. But yeah,
because I've seen that commercial where he takes that Flex Seal paste and he goes across the mouse hole and the mouse goes, I don't want that. I can't get in there. I'm thinking bullshit.
Sean Woods, the Rat Trap Mondays guy. Yeah, he's awesome. I love watching him. And he did that. He did a test with Flex Seal. He kept a hole with a big old thing with sunflower seeds so they could smell it in there. And like 2 weeks he left it there and they didn't even chew through it at all. Like they just didn't want to touch it. Pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, see, I told you, Justin. Flex Seal, buddy.
I know. I love Flex Seal. I did that one enclosure, and I had people give me shit forever because I was. They were like, "What are you going to seal it with? What are you going to seal it with?" And I was like, "I'm going to do this, this, and this, and this." And then the guy argued with me for like 5-6 comments, and then he says, "Just Flex Seal that bitch." I'm like, "Why did you argue with me for a half an hour and then tell me to Flex Seal it?" It's like,
I like the Mink Man too. He's cool.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how many rats they get. I mean, that mink is badass, dude.
So neat. It's neat watching them go after. I mean, I don't like watching animals get killed, but I mean that's their natural prey. They go after rats. They go after muskrats. Muskrat hunts with them. And in all honesty, you know, he's doing a valuable service. Rats carry a lot of diseases. The muskrats, they undermine the banks of the canals and cause flooding as they dig all those tunnels. I mean, it's fascinating to watch that stuff. And the fact that those muskrats are like bigger than those mink, and those mink are like, boom, knock you down. It's pretty cool. But I hope he's successful with that Argus monitor. I think that'll be really neat.
That'll be a good video.
Already caught a wild rat. The monitor did. He was out just letting it walk around on a leash, and it flushed a rat out, and that thing took off within like 2 seconds. He had that rat in his mouth and killed it. So it's possible, you know. It's definitely hunters.
Is he showing any videos on how he's training it or anything?
Yeah, he does a lot of. Actually, he has a little bit of a playlist. He's probably got 4 or 5 videos of where he's kind of showing his mindset or his ways that he's doing it. It's really interesting.
I haven't watched his channel in a while because I thought last I seen he was like, "Hey, I'm getting off of YouTube," and I didn't see much from him, so I'm gonna have to go check him back out because I did like watching his videos. They were good, you know.
It's very fascinating.
He's local to you, huh? The Mink Man.
That's Utah? I think he's in Utah, maybe. Really cool. I love that channel. I love YouTube, period. I mean, I'm lucky. You know, I get to work.
Oh yeah, he can train anything. He's good.
Yeah, I get to work.
I think this comes to you, Solemn. I would say.
Hey, my head is super shiny. Bald is beautiful, and I'm a beautiful bald bearded man. I will always say that. So, yeah, that's cool. Very cool. I love animals.
Yeah. So, are you just going to strictly work with ball pythons since you're in Florida? I mean, I guess retics and stuff like that is a little. You'd have to get permits for, right?
Yeah. So I
educational purposes only or something.
For
the retics.
Yeah, and you have to have like. I think you can breed them, but you also have to have permits to even own them for pets too. Yeah, so I can't have retics, I can't have berms, I can't have green or yellow anacondas. Now tegus and iguanas. There's a few other things that you can't have here. Right now, I'm stuck. Well, not stuck, but right now I think I'm only going to keep ball pythons for a while. I just don't have the facilities big enough right now to really expand. I do have 2 colubrids. I have a black rat snake and an eastern milk snake. One's name is Michael Scott, and the other one's name is Stanley from The Office. Whatever. And that's about all I'm going to have for colubrids right now. But I think eventually I would like to expand a little bit. RG monitors are pretty cool, or Ackies monitors. Excuse me, not RG. Ackie monitors are really cool. I'd like to get a couple of those, I think.
Small monitor that thinks it's a goddamn croc monitor.
I know, right? Yeah. I'd like to get some of those, and I think I might get into a little bit of amphibians too, and maybe some hognose snakes, but not westerns. I like eastern hognose.
Right. I mean, I grew up. We catch hognose all the time outside, you know.
Yeah, same.
And they're big. They're way bigger than what they're selling, you know. I mean, they're huge. It was great, and they think they're a cobra, dude. I mean, this is awesome.
Yeah. Back home, they call them spread matters or blow biters. They're my favorite colubrid, hands down. Just in sheer personality, watching their whole drama that they do, you know. And my favorite part is when they flip up and play dead, and then you walk up to them and you flip them back on their belly. They flip back over and prove to you that they are still dead.
Yeah. Tongue hanging out, they poop and everything, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, it's funny because, you know, I always thought they were bigger snakes until I really got to looking at what everybody's keeping, because I never knew they had the littler ones, you know, because we always caught the big ones, you know.
Yeah, the westerns are so small compared to
yeah. Somebody said they changed their name now. They're not even a western now. They call them something else.
I'm sure they did the same thing with copperheads and cottonmouths too. You got the western cottonmouth and now the eastern cottonmouth. Well, no, cottonmouths are the same. Westerns, easterns, and Florida, but copperheads are different now, I think. And same with the rats. So this is a black rat snake. You know, you have the yellow rat snakes, all that. Nope, now these are just eastern rat snakes. They don't even care about what color they are. So
It's kind of like a bull snake and a gopher snake.
yeah, taxonomy changes yearly, so it doesn't really matter. You know, these used to be this used to be Elaphate, was the genus for these guys. But Elaphate kind of actually works for old world rat snakes too. So now they've changed it to where these are Pantheropus. So, you know, it's all the little things, just like the short-tailed snake in Florida. It's endemic only to like the central part of the state. The only place in the world you can find it. It's a small little species, very thin, pencil thin. It used to be its own it used to be in its own genus, but now it's been moved into Lampropeltis. So it's a type of milk snake / king snake. So I mean, taxonomy changes. Merino morphs, hognoses are not illegal in Florida, including southerns. You can keep one. I don't believe you can breed them though and sell them in Florida without. I don't think you have to have. There's a permit for them. Same with southern hognoses, or not southern hognoses, southern pine snakes, also known as the Florida pine. You can keep one or two, but you cannot breed them unless they are morphs. So patternless, albino. They have to be super defined necessarily in nature.
Now, what about false water cobras?
Actually, those are legal here. They're not considered venomous. Yeah.
But you're talking about hognose, they're in the same category pretty much, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're rear fang venomous, but yeah, you don't have to have a venomous permit for those.
Well, I didn't know if you even had to have a permit for one, you know.
No. I mean, the only like venomous colubrid for the most part that you'd have to have a definite permit would be like what boom slings. I think they're a colubrid technically. So yeah. But no, the false water cobras, I've seen them for sale around here. It is what it is.
That's cool.
You can also get like the vine snakes, the rear fang venomous vine snakes. You can get those here too. I see them at pet shops.
What's the other one? They're black, kind of like a yellow head or whatever. What are they called? They're
Grebos?
Yeah, like grebos and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, those aren't venomous.
I mean, they're beautiful, but they're
well, they're in the same genus as indigo snakes.
right.
They're all they all tie into the same thing, but yeah, you can have those here. Eastern indigos, though, you have to have a permit for. Some states you don't, but here you definitely do because this is the range for them. Dry march to them. Or I can never say that well, but yeah, he's right. KY constrictors. There you go. Yeah, you guys got it right. That's the genus for the indigos and grebos and everything. Yeah, yellowtails. Oh my God, they're gorgeous.
Yes. So, what do you think about garter snakes? Do you think they're going to be the next big colubrid?
I think there's a niche for them for sure. I think they're okay. There's so many different mutations for them now, which is cool. They might be, and to be honest, they're not the worst pet. They're pretty easy to take care of. They
A lot
could
of people
be
think it's going to be the bull snake.
Well, I
that too, but I mean, garters are a lot smaller.
Right.
Might be better for for different people. But yeah, there's a lot of really new cool mutations coming for a lot of different species. Bull snakes, even pine snakes have some. Garter snakes have tons, but there's also a bunch of different subspecies too in garters.
Right.
Western hognose. Oh my gosh, the new stuff that's coming out with them just blows.
Unreal.
Oh man, yeah.
I hooked up
The price is blowing away on them too.
two, three people with some. I had a buddy here that had albino checker garter snakes.
Yeah.
And I hooked up 2 or 3 people, and they said they've been looking for them for a couple of years, and they're hard to find, you know.
Yeah.
And the price of them are expensive, dude.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine from back home that is what he specializes in is garters. He loves them. Many years ago, I found a mutation, a genetic mutation of a eastern garter snake that was jet blue. And you know, you've seen like blue-sided garter snakes, like the Simus or the Similis and everything, the blue-striped garters and all that. So this thing's entire body was completely like deep dark blue, and all it had was black specks on it. That was it. That was its whole pattern. And he kept that, and I gave it to him. I was like, "Oh, look, this is a pretty garter snake, and you need one for your display. So here you go." And I didn't realize what I had, but
right. You know. Well, you know, I didn't. You know, I never when you know Rob was one of them. I got a cup some for, and I never thought about him. He goes, "Oh, you know." And I got them, and I thought, man, they are really pretty freaking cool, though. You know, I mean,
I never thought about they'd be that cool until I seen the pictures you posted, and I was like, man, those are badass.
I mean, they are beautiful in it, but you know, they were so little, you know, and I shipped them, and I'm like, man, I was so nervous, dude, you know, because I said, I'm only shipping to the hub, you know, you got to pick it up there because of the heat, but you know, they're so little, but they're eating great for them. They're awesome, man. They are, just for me having them, watching them, man, they were so cool, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I personally feel like garters are a great beginner snake because, in all honesty, they're garbage disposals. They eat just about anything that fits in their mouth. They love toads, they love fish, they love rodents, at babies, like brand spanking newborn babies. You just chop up some earthworms if you get it at a bait shop.
Well, that's the thing. I think it's a snake you can have that you don't have to have. You ain't got to breed rodents because you don't have to feed them rodents. So you don't have to have a bunch of rodents to feed your collection. You know what I mean?
You could even just get fish fillets and it'll eat like slices of fish for you.
Yeah, they're like the guy I got it from was an older guy and been doing it. He said his garters he can hand feed. He goes, it's almost a pain in the ass now because they're so tame. But he goes, you know, a lot of whitefish they like, you know, and stuff like that, you know. And he told me, you know, he was just a knowledge of everything on him, you know. But it was so cool for him to be able to take a little snake that's no longer in this and be able to tell me if it was a male or female by sexing it, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that was because I couldn't have done it. I mean, you know, it was cool that he did. He got him, dude. I mean, it's awesome, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of people just will tell you, I don't know what they are. You just got to get what you get, you know.
Absolutely.
So that was pretty awesome. So, hell yeah.
Yeah, they're cool little animals.
We've been on 3 hours. That's awesome.
Yeah, Rob said he's got a disturbing video coming up.
It goes by fast, don't it, Solomon? You don't even realize how long you've been on just sitting there talking.
Yeah. Well, I've really enjoyed our talks. This whole experience has been awesome.
Well, I'm glad to come on. I mean, I enjoyed it, and I learned a lot too, just from Instagram.
I've learned a ton, especially the Instagram stuff and that kind of stuff. That helps.
If you need
what it's all about.
Send me a message. Seriously, I'll help you out in any way I can.
Well, I want to trade stickers for sure, no matter what.
Yeah,
absolutely. We'll get I'll trade with you on your addresses and everything, and we'll get those out.
Yeah, that's all cool.
Yeah, I got a whole pile up. I just got in, so I ain't got yours, and I think there's another guy in here that's been in here for a while.
A few people asked for my Instagram handle, so hopefully I got some more trades too. That'll be cool.
Well, I think he's one of your followers. Modern Exotics Company.
Yeah.
Does he follow you? Yeah, I'd like to. He's new too, and then that other girl, Jennifer, or whatever that was in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody that's here. I mean, anybody on the panel I know of all trade stickers. So. Yeah. Depending on whose stream you're from, we all trade stickers. Hit us all up on Instagram.
Jennifer Lagerholm, Their stickers, their logo is one that I made for them.
Oh, right.
Who's that?
The Nake Breeders it's the Nake. But the snake the actual snake on their logo is the S, which is really cool.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's a logo that I made. It's really been cool since I started doing all these logos. I've done 38 so far in the reptile industry, and it's really neat now to be getting stickers of logos that I've created. It's like
blood.
Fun stuff. Yeah, that's good stuff. I love creating stuff.
And it's, I mean, it's crazy how it blew up, and then, Billy, hell, everybody sends him stickers.
Yeah. I did too.
Not me.
Yeah, because he's not.
But I mean, it's good because it's like I was talking with Rob. Whenever I watch a Freedom Breeder video, and he's standing by that sticker board, the first thing I see is my sticker and Rob's sticker. We're right there in the corner, and I see your sticker too. So right there, man, it's how many people watch that? I mean.
Yeah, that's theirs.
The Make Breeders?
Yeah.
Oh, the Snake Breeders.
That's the Jennifer that was in the chat?
Yeah, that's Jennifer's. That's theirs. Really good people. They produced a lot this year.
Cool.
Yeah. So hopefully they'll follow you and everything. Yeah, I mean, I guess y'all recognize this person.
Yeah.
I haven't got it up yet because I got to get some more frames. But yeah, I've got all kinds of stickers in here. I've got hundreds and hundreds. So.
Before we do go, though, I mean, go ahead and do your plug on everywhere everybody can get a hold of you. And I'm sure, just remind people. So.
Hey, we do these streams randomly all the time. Please come back again. Don't let this be your last visit. Hopefully you come back in an open chat or something and talk some more. I'd love to share more knowledge, man.
Sometimes we don't have a guest. We just do open chat. So if a guy wants to come on for 10 or 15 minutes, say, hey, and show maybe, hey, look what I did.
Or the whole show if you want. Shit.
Or the whole show, they're more than welcome to,
Okay. Absolutely. I see you guys a lot on my YouTube channel. Like you guys' videos pop up. I'm going to have to really focus more on actually getting in on the live stream and really watching it. I've been like, I need to do this, but then life happens and I just forget about it. But I'm gonna have to definitely write this down and make sure that I'm in on y'all's. I've had a blast. You guys have been amazing. So
it's been good. You've been a good one of our better guests too. I mean, it's just been a good time. I mean every day.
It's crazy how when we go through the guests of the different the way they keep the different animals they got. It's just always something new. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, everybody brings something new to the table. I mean, your Instagram stuff was great. Your backstory. I mean, just talking about just different knowledge and tips you have. That's what's about. And like I said, really, it's just us talking. I mean, people ask questions and we do that, but there was 2 or 3 conversations in the chat too while we were talking.
Oh yeah, sometimes we get going on the panel so much I lose track of what's even going on in the chat a lot.
Good because people like to come on and interact, and that's what it's about. And learning about someone new. Now they know who Solomon is from Eastern or Florida Reptiles. They know who he is,
Yeah.
They know he's not. He knows he'll subscribe to you and not be one of them big time assholes and not give you no credit.
Absolutely. And
at least that's his motto anyway.
So there's a few people that I probably have not subscribed back to yet on my YouTube channel because I've just got so many so quickly. Give me just a little while and I'll get you back on there. But if you guys
I'm the only important one.
Yeah. I think I might have subscribed back to you yet. I don't remember if I have or not, but I will if I haven't. So the places you guys can find me, here on YouTube, Eastern Florida Pythons. They've put the link in the description a few times. You can find me there. I'm super big on Instagram, at Eastern Florida Pythons, all one word.
As a giveaway.
Yep, I have a 10,000 follower giveaway. We're less than 200 followers away from me actually giving that away, and that is a 2020 female black Peter ball python that I produced. She is gorgeous, and she is going to go to somebody very happy. here probably pretty soon. So if you want to join in on that, check out my giveaway video on my YouTube channel for the official rules and how to enter on that. You can also find me on Facebook too if you want to, but just search Eastern Florida Pythons. I'm not super big on there, but I do have a page there. So pretty much it.
And we're famous tonight. We got 1 dislike. That means we are YouTube famous now.
Nice.
Because
I seen that earlier. I was waiting to see if it was going to go away or not. I didn't say nothing earlier.
But you know, if they dislike it and leave, it goes away. So I want to say thank you, because at least you sat in here long enough to listen to us and give me a thumbs down. It still counts, baby.
There'll be a fan. There'll be a fan soon.
Yep. I care more about my dislikes on my videos than I do my likes. You know, like especially on my.
If you got a dislike, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
It proves it. It proves
if it bothered you that much, you probably needed to hear it.
Because I always tell everybody, let's see, right here, it's on the bottom of the screen.
Thanks for being in here, Bad Blood.
Hustle every day until your haters ask if you're hiring. That's funny.
That's great.
He's always usually got that running.
That is awesome.
All right, guys, I'm going to take off. I am out of here.
I do appreciate you coming on, Solomon. I do appreciate it, everybody.
I appreciate it as well. Hopefully we can interact some more.
Let's get him to 10,000 so he can get me that snake sent out to me. And we all
My
appreciate
address is
it.
in the description.
And peace.